Okay, so it's been a while since I've played a visual novel. I'm pretty sure the last one, if you count, I mean, Reverse 1999 is kind of a VN, but that has more gameplay than it has a story. It has a VN in it, but Reverse 1999 is, I think, more about it has a gameplay. It has way more gameplay than normal VNs. Even like Phoenix Wright, I'd say, is the most recent VN that I've played. But the House of Fata Morgana, I know I've heard about this, and I looked at a list of like the best visual novels, and this was at the top of it. I was gonna play Aokana, but I looked into it a little bit more, and while it doesn't show anything, it's really risky. There's a lot of really risky pictures in Aokana, which I was going to play. I was going to just send it anyway. But I'll probably play it later. Hi, Tinkles. Hello, hello. So, I guess I'm all like, oh, hi, Danny. I'm gonna say it like that every single time you show up. I'm gonna say it like that every single time. I'm all nice and cozy for this too. I'm in my pajamas. I have my like pink bunny sweater on. I have my blanket wrapped around me. The lights are off. I'm ready. Welcome in, you two. Thank you, thank you. There is a house. That sits beyond dark, dense woods. Like the world fading into view after a dream. I know you won't judge me, you're the one who made your name that. That old mansion appears before you. Also, let me know if the audio is a good volume. Without realizing it, you instinctively accept the truth. The events unfolding before you. Okay, good. I was worried that, like, it's pretty loud in my ears and I can barely hear myself. The house lives in perpetuity, an amalgam of myriad fates and generations. No one knows who first said, but the mansion was cursed. A little loud. Once I can, I'll turn it down a little bit. After this beginning thing. Oh, also, all of the music, it said this when you open the game, all of the music is composed for this game. Like, everything is composed for the game, and all the sounds except for a few were made for the game. That's probably a little annoying. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed by thy name. Hallowed be thy name. I was so close. I've messed up one word so far. Have mercy on me, O Father. And cast their souls into eternal damnation. Oh, I've heard this one. I've heard that one. Okay. I can go to OBS real quick to turn it down a little bit. Oh, hey Val, welcome in. Turn it down just slightly. That should be good. Maybe. I think that's fine. But you guys are the ones that are hearing both of the things, so... Okay. I was looking down upon a corpse. My own corpse. I was afflicted with great despair. I love you, Reed, not gonna lie. So now chill. That's what, like, that was kind of the idea of playing a visual novel, because I know that you and Bu both said you like my reading. At the sight of it being dragged to the place of my crucifixion, my soul crumbled, and I was wholly extinguished. Indeed, I did once lose everything. However, as I faded into darkness everlasting, I heard a voice calling out to me, and so I vowed once more that no matter how long it may take, how great the obstacles that stand in my way, or what form you may assume, I shall come back for you, that I must return to that house. So I ask of you, please wait until this mutilated body arrives there once more. Your consciousness, wavering like a ship at sea, was slowly drawn back to the surface. With each new breath, feeling gradually return to your fingers. Master. You could hear the pattering of rain from somewhere. Master? And the sound of a crackling fire. Wake up, Master. Creak, creak, creak. Wake up. When you came to, you were rocking back and forth in a rocking chair. The room was dimly lit. Aside from the flickering of the fireplace, there was no other illumination. No light shone through the closed windows. There was only the pitter-patter of rain on the glass. It was as though the whole mansion had been enveloped in darkness. Oh, splendid! You have finally awoken. Someone called out to you. You were about to search the room, but that turned out to be unnecessary. The source of the voice was crouching beside the chair, looking up at you with emerald eyes. I love the design of the characters, like this art design. Like, she looks like a doll. She looks like a porcelain doll. I think it adds to how creepy I know the game, just the vibe of the game is. Good morning, Master. Good morning. What is the matter? Are you still waking up? You seem rather drowsy. Come now, you must gather yourself. Though I am glad to hear your voice. I have simply been waiting so long for this moment. Tending to the mansion all by my lonesome, ensuring it was ready for your return. Whenever that time may be. When I caught the sight of you through the window, my heart fluttered. The time had finally arrived. You were perplexed. This woman, who looked like a maid, seemed to know you, but you had no memory of her. What kind of herbal tea would you like to start your day with? I have some wonderful chamomile leaves if you would like. Or perhaps your tastes haven't changed since we last met. Tell me, Master, what would you like? I beg your pardon. I allowed myself to get too excited. But I hope you will be sympathetic, Master. I am just utterly elated that I could see you again. The woman appeared to be genuinely delighted that you had awoken, but she seemed to lack the energy typical of her age. Or perhaps life was more appropriate word than energy. But the gloom extended beyond the maid, It seemed to encompass the entire mansion. The plaster walls illuminated by the fireplace, and the rose engravings in the ebony pillars felt vaguely familiar. But a crushing sense of claustrophobia overpowered that familiarity. It seemed as though the house wasn't interested in accepting you just yet. Oh my, you do not know who I am? Do you not know who you are either? That is quite the predicament. If you cannot remember who you are, then who am I to serve? The woman's face was pale, almost as though a faint chill ran down your spine. You are the master of this house, though it would seem you have no memories of such. Quite the dilemma. If you know not who you are, then you are no different from a stranger to me, no? I'm sorry. Indeed, you have returned. But from where? That I cannot say. Then how about this? I am a servant of this mansion, and as such, I am familiar with the many incidents that have taken place here. I shall show you the history of this house, master. That will surely allow you to recall who you are. The freshly awakened gears in your head begin to turn as you mulled things over. The maid had called you the master of the house. But without a single mirror in the room, you had no way of seeing what you looked like. Unable to decide, you reflexively nodded. Let us be off, then. And fear not, I merely entreat you not to let go of my hand. Should you hold it tightly, you need not worry about being washed away by the waves of history. So, master, nope. No matter what happens, you mustn't let go of my hand. I think I'm actually doing pretty good to read this without messing up. Your hand in hers, you followed the maid's lead through the hall. The air within the mansion was oppressive, as though a black miasma hovers within. The house was bleak and barren, hardly a trace of color to be found. You came across an open window. Beyond it lay nothing but darkness. Neither sunlight nor moonlight could be seen. There were no chirping birds, no rustling grass, no signs of life at all. Everything that would normally give color to the world had vanished entirely. The only other presence was that of the maid. Following her lead, you proceeded through the mansion. After some time, you arrived at a double door. The glass within shattered. The door, once pure white, had long since faded into a dull grey. It appeared to lead to the back garden. You could hear children laughing on the other side. Though it is in the state you see it, though it is in the state you now see it, a beautiful, beautiful garden once lay upon beyond these doors. The owner of the time enjoyed gathering rare species of rose from all across the world. At its grandest, it seemed every flower was in constant competition for the most majestic bloom. Would you like to see this wonderful era of splendor and prosperity? I very much hope it is to your liking, master. The maid opened the doors to the back garden. A sudden gust of wind brushed across your face, forcing you to close your eyes as you followed the maid out the doors. When you next opened your eyes, the world was no longer blanketed in shadows. The first door. Door numero uno. That? Don't worry, but I was supposed to say 1603. Move the cursor from the bottom right corner to display the in-game menu. You can save and load videos. Okay, I see. The mansion had an alluring air of beauty about it in that era. Sorry, that's how you do it. Okay. Wait, where? Right there. Okay. It was almost like something out of a fairy tale. This period of history could perhaps be described as a symphony of destruction, as cumbersome principles of old came crashing down. Freed from the day-to-day oppression of antiquated precepts. Oh, it starts. The people seem to hark back to more poetic, expressive ways of old. They took these newly blossoming emotions in hand, and with them they wrote literature, painted portraits, composed theater, and found love. Even the church, which had maintained authority throughout the Middle Ages, embraced the changing times, adopting the culture's flowering sense of aesthetic. War would break out not 20 years from then, plucking the ripened era from the tree of history, but that is of no concern to us now. For all the reading I'm going to be doing. Hi Moo, welcome in. I punched my mic, I'm sorry. Yeah, my throat's going to be dead. Well, I did a stream where I was reading a light novel, so I should probably go get something to drink at some point, but I'll be fine. At the time, it was still what people referred to as the Golden Age, a period of furor for all who were there. I don't know. This is my test. Playing a visual novel, this is a test to see how much water I'll need. Now, let's take a slight detour. No, we will not be changing locations. This is a tale about the mansion from beginning to end. We will, however, be moving through time. Say, about 8 years into the past. A very wealthy family lived in the house then. The mother and father, brother and sister all had distinctive, beautiful flaxen hair. I was always enamored by their hair. By contrast, mine is the color of a wet crow. That's unfortunate. See, there I am, standing around, looking rather a fool. I was happy back then. And what reason did I have to not be afforded the opportunity to attend such a beautiful home? So I poured my heart into serving that family. Listen closely, if you would. That soft, fleeting sound that could only be a young girl singing. Can you hear it? La la la, la 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 la. As it's a young girl. I swear I am a young girl. The girl you see, cheerfully picking crimson roses and singing like a songbird, was called Nellie. Though young, she sang with elegance. Nellie was deeply fond of the house's garden, and she would often spend her afternoons there. Gorgeous roses gathered from all across the world bloomed in the garden. They were given the utmost care, and even had their thorns removed. So young Nellie would not hurt herself, naturally. The light brown-haired girl carefully plucked petals from the roses, gathering up as she sang. Her voice was like music, played by fairies. Nay, the sight of her was like an angel descended from heaven. Careful. Oh dear, please don't look at me like that. I admit, I was being rather fanciful. But what is a woman if not fanciful? Little bird, singing night and day, for your little birdie heart, sing your woes away. Pretty flowers all around the little bird, and even when the sun comes up. Oh, dearest Mel, I've forgotten what comes next. Are you listening? Nellie was, as a matter of fact, the only visitor to the rose garden that day. She always came with her older brother, Mel. The young siblings were inseparable. Mel adored his little sister, who in turn pined for his attention. The sight of the two innocent children cuddling together, not yet shackled by fear for the future, was truly heartwarming. That day, Mel was sitting in the shade of a tree reading a book. As I am sure you are aware, in their time, books could not yet be mass-produced. What he was reading had been copied by a scribe. I presume he had borrowed it from the church. The book, having passed through many hands over many years, was visibly worn. But I suppose that just speaks to its importance. It was, in fact, a Latin grammar textbook he was reading. Mel was a clever boy. He had attended church from a very young age, where a priest would instruct him in Latin grammar. So at the time, I believe he was capable of reading even advanced text. Oh, dearest Mel, please. The young girl approached her brother, who was consumed by the text. In her hand she carried a large pile of rose petals. Though his sister's shadow overlapped with the trees, the boy still did not notice. So Nellie puffed her cheeks, burst out her slender arms, and let the petals fall. Ah! Look, your head is covered in roses, Mel. Oh, Nellie, you got petals on the book. This isn't mine. I can't afford to let it get dirty. It's your fault, dearest Mel. I tried to get your attention. And besides, flowers won't get a book dirty. I must raise the white flag. When did my little lady find herself such a sharp wit? While waiting for you. Oh, while waiting for you, dearest Mel. I waited and waited, but you didn't so much as glance at me. I'll be an adult by the time you're done reading that book. Wow, that soon? That soon. Mother says girls grow up fast. She may be right. In that case, we should do something together before you're all grown up. Surely you won't play with me longer when you become an adult. Love all the different voices. Thank you. That's not true. I'll still play with you, even when I'm grown up. I can't do many voices, so some of the characters will have the same voice, but don't worry. Because I don't know. But grown-ups don't play, Nellie. Well, fine. I'll stay a child forever then. Didn't you just say you were about to grow up? You're so mean, Mel. I'm sorry. Please don't pout, my little lady. How about this? To make it up to you, I'll play whatever you want today. Really? Do you mean it? I want to play make-believe. Make-believe? Make-believe. I will be a princess taken captive by an evil kingdom, and you, dearest Mel, will be my valiant knight. Thank you for the lurk, then. I hope you sleep well. Have a good night. And then you will turn into a prince when you rescue me. A knight can become a prince? Impressive. They can. Knights and princes both have to be charming, so of course they can. Which is why it must be you, dearest Mel. No one else can be my prince, or my knight. Well, he may have... I might need that water. Well, he may have appeared outwardly embarrassed as his rose-cheeked sister proclaimed prattlingly. I'm certain he was smiling on the inside. That's a word. Prattlingly. After a few moments, he meekly knelt, bringing himself to eye level with Nellie and gently stroking her soft hair. All right then. You're my princess, Nellie. And not just anyone's princess, dearest Mel, but only yours. So, don't tell anyone else's prince. Oh, don't be anyone else's prince but mine, okay? Nellie. Jeez. My princess is quite the fawner. Is that bad? Does that make you dislike me? Not at all. I'm proud to have you as my sister, Nellie. You mean more to me than anything in the world, my dear princess. I love you, dearest Mel. You'll always be my prince, forever and ever. Her mood quite improved. Nellie began humming the melody of the song she had forgotten the lyrics to. Holding the skirt of her dress out from her body, the young girl pranced about the rose garden. Mel, his eyes on her back, gave a little shrug. Oh, Nellie, don't come crying to me if you trip running like that. But Mel was not entirely disapproving of his sister's excitement. He carefully brushed aside the petals on his book, set it in the shade of the tree, and began chasing after Nellie. They were picturesque siblings, brimming with hope. And at this time in their lives, there was nothing to jeopardize that hope. Would it not be wonderful if children could stay children forever, Master? As I see, though the pleasant, gentle times in our lives have value because they come to an end. Wouldn't you agree? Time continues to flow, impartial without exception. And as such, everyone's childhood comes to an end. But that as it may, does time flow at the same speed for each individual? Now, let us take a trip down the river of time. I would be very much delighted if we could remain at this point in time, but unfortunately, we cannot. Please, do not let go of my hand, Master. That was cute. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to them? They said that was 8 years ago. What happened? I'm concerned. Oh, I believe they have to be a little older now. I'll be on my way then. Oh, you usually stay for longer. Yes, I have an errand to run today. Thank you for your time, as always. Would you like the book back sometime next week? Next week, or the week after. Hold on to it as long as you'd like. But surely there are others who want to use it. None as sharp as you, Mel. Put yourself in my shoes, and you'll understand. I want to give you any advantage you can get. Oh, do you not believe me? No, I believe you, Father. And I mean to do whatever I can to not disappoint you. That's the spirit. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm proud to have you as my pupil. Ah, yes, and Mel, do consider what we were talking about. Going to university? Indeed. If you do, I can introduce you to some accomplished instructors. There is a little left for me to teach you, and I believe you would make a fine priest. It's an honorable thing, Mel, to devote yourself to the service of our Lord. I'll give it some thought. If you'll excuse me then. I'll see you again. Our doors are always open. Farewell. What is he thinking? Whether it's the service of God or the service of church, it is an honorable profession. But theology, I wouldn't mind attending university, but I'm not sure. I'd kind of like to do something different, something more befitting of the times. As for what, though, I'm stumped. But I need to make up my mind soon. If I drag my feet for too long, even my father is liable to grow impatient. Mercy me. Young sire, blessed young sire, alms for the poor. This beggar. If I'm not mistaken, He's been outside the church since last week. Alms. The way he shakes his head. I can get a glimpse of his forehead under the hood. He's completely bald. Buy yourself some bread with this. Thank you. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you. Whoa. May the Lord bless your soul. Thanks. The Lord. Oh no. Nellie's gonna be cross if I don't hurry home. Curses. And it looks like it's gonna rain. Master? Master? Oh, thank goodness. You appear to have a firm grasp on your consciousness. I was afraid you had accidentally let go of my hand. Now, Master, this is the period of time I truly wish to show you. The boy reading in the rose garden was now a fine young man. Nonetheless, he still bore the same gentle eyes as before, and he would from time to time show remnants of that innocent young boy. I have a feeling he's gonna be me. Like, I am him. Just because the game's a little older. It was like in the 2000s, maybe early 2010. I don't remember exactly when this game came out. And there were games at the time that did break a lot of tropes, but that's a more recent thing because at the time the tropes were being created. So I have a feeling that I am going to be this young boy, but I know this game is really, really popular and there's a lot of people that really like this game. So I also have a feeling that it won't matter if I already figure that out. Because if that was a big twist, then it wouldn't be as highly proclaimed. He was, in his own mind, still making the transition into adulthood, I suspect. Mel frequently visited the church, on Sundays, to participate in Mass, of course, but more often to be tutored by the priest. In addition, he also attended a private school run by the eminent Marquise. Or Marquis. I think it's Marquise. I don't think it's French. Though it was not a school where students had desks and sat in rows. They studied at the Marquise estate. Secondary and higher education was not the same as it is today. And Mel was considering university. The priest wanted to recruit him to the church, but Mel was having difficulty deciding what he should do. That he had such a choice is envious, is it not? Envious! That's like my sin. I'm the sin of envy. It's envious. It's relatable. Good afternoon. I'm here to pick up my order. Is it ready? Aye, ready and waiting, young Master Rhodes. Oh, don't call me young master, please. I beg your pardon? Can I seem to get out of my head? It's out of the past. Oh, I don't know what accent that is. Can I seem to get at me head out of the past? Your order's right here, sir. Mel had stopped at the jewelry store in the center of town on his way back from the church. The building was both a workshop and storefront, and the nobles of the area were deeply fond of the master's wares. He was so skilled even the royal family had commissioned work from him. As a matter of fact, the wooden sign out front was engraved with a replica of a piece of his jewelry said to be on display in the palace. 1 second. Okay. Ooh. As artistry flourished in this golden age, the number of shops selling luxurious items such as jewelry rose in kind. However, the clientele of these shops comprised a very narrow range of people. May I have a look? Of course, of course. Good. It came out just as I hoped. Splendid work. Can I afford to disappoint a loyal customer like yourself? See, I don't know I don't know everything about this time period, so I don't know exactly what accent that is, but you know, this is a May twist. An admirable work ethic. I'm sure she'll love it. Such a kind lad, young master. My boy back home could do well to learn a thing or two from you. Every man ought to show woman some cordiality. That word. Coming home to a cold fireplace is a sad thing indeed. Again, please don't call me young master. My apologies. I'll take this and I'll be on my way then. Good day. If you find yourself in need of what else, just let me know. I can make any jewelry you ask for. Come to see me and your sweetheart. Day'll be sure is made. Eat! And I guarantee the two of you will have all sorts of fun when you give it to her. But please, I don't have a sweetheart. Huh. Well, that's a surprise. I'm sure many girls will be vying for your hand, young, Mr. Rhodes. A fine family, good looks, charming, and your future's all, but I'll be on my way then. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Good day. Come by anytime. Come by again anytime. That guy, for some reason, his dialogue was just harder to read. Goodness. Maybe I'll say I want to study abroad or something. Patient as my father may be, that would certainly anger him. I can hear it now. You're wasting your God-given talents, boy. I could renounce my name and rank, go somewhere far away. Heh, that sounds like a kind of plan Nell would come up with. As he drew closer to the mansion, the rich fragrance of roses grew more prominent. Over time, this distinctive scent had led visitors to refer to the house as Rose Manor. It was also probably a play on the flaxen-haired family's last name, Rhodes, which you heard the owner of the jewelry store say just moments earlier. That's a good nickname. Like, it just works really well. The mansion looked quite different than it does now, no? No thickets of ivory covering the walls, and no rotten, broken doors to be found. I wonder what the Rhodes family would think if they saw the house in its present tragic condition. The sight of their abundantly blooming roses, a variable symbol of prosperity, long since withered and turned to soil. My apologies. I got a little sentimental there. Let us forget, for a moment, about our own time. I suppose I stayed out a little too long. Oh well, the sun still shines high in the sky. I'm sure it's... Oh. Dearest Mel, what took you so long? Wherever have you been? I've been waiting forever. Nellie, you're not in the house? Nope. You were taking so long I decided to wait by the garden. Or by the gate. That didn't say garden. I don't know why I said that. But you didn't even notice me. At all. Is that any way to treat a lady? All the studying's got your head stuck up in the clouds. No, it hasn't, really. Also, you're heavy. Could you please get off my back? Heavy? I've been gradually reducing the amount of sweets I eat. And I love sweets. To maintain my figure for my new dress. And you call me heavy? I didn't catch that. Were you saying a tongue twister? You're such a dimwit. Oh. You're such a dimwit, Mel. Jerk, blockhead, weakling. And obnoxious to boot. Whatever happened to the delightful little girl who was once my sister? She'd probably throw a fit if I had said that out loud. Should you really be outside, Nellie? You are the star of today's event. It's fine. They can call it a butterfly birthday. Nope. No, what am I doing? I'm losing my mind. I should probably get water. Well, no, I'm not doing it yet. It's just having my voice so high puts a strain on the bottom of my mouth. It's like I'm straining, like, it's like the front of my throat, like top of my throat, bottom of my mouth, like just under the tongue. That's why it takes me a second sometimes. I think I'm just losing my mind more than my mouth is going numb. It's fine. They can call it a birthday party, but I know it's just about fraternizing. It's obvious what Father's true motives are. We'll be gathering a bunch of boys from good families to look for someone to marry me off to. Ah, I have no interest in that at all. Don't be like that, Nelly. They're all here for you. At least enjoy what you can of the party. I guess. And besides, it's not completely terrible. Look at this, dearest Mel. What do you think? What do I think? Oh, about what? About what? Mel. Mel, even I knew that was coming. You kind of messed up there. I knew that's what she was talking about. You just gotta open your eyes a little more. My new dress! It arrived! I'm wearing it! How could you not notice? I did notice. It was something I hadn't seen before, but you have so many dresses, Nelly, so... But this is the dress I made just for today. That I had made just for today. Look at the colors, they're so pretty. It's the work of a renowned dyer. And this belt is just lovely. I'm worried about what's gonna happen at this birthday. You see how it comes together to form a butterfly? I was just reading into the future when I said butterfly earlier. I'm not good at reading. Oh. Oh, I'm just absolutely in love with it. I think I'll be wearing this dress for a while to come. It is a really pretty dress. I like the purple right here. But I love those hair ornaments. Okay, those are literally May colors. Those are my colors. So like, but like, they're so shiny. Of course, rich family. Oh, so tell me, what do you think? Does it look good on me? Yeah, it does. It's pretty. In some ways, I guess she is still a delightful little girl. Oh, dearest Mel, I love you. Every time it plays that sound, I thought she just punches him in the face. Whoa, don't jump on me like that. Ah. Oh my, you dropped something. And what do we have? And what we have here? Well, nope. Guys, I'm good at reading, I promise. And what have we here? Oh, he dropped the jewelry that he was gonna give her. Wait, hold on. No, you can't have that yet. Is it a present? Give it back. I was gonna give you that later. I knew it! It's for me. And just what could it be? Hey, don't open it! What's the big deal? It's gonna be mine soon anyway, isn't it? It's not time for that, Nelly. I was on your side this whole time until now. Oh, I love it! A rose necklace! And this design. It's from the jeweler the royal family uses. Oh, my dearest Mel. You had this made just for me? Oh, jeez. It defeats the purpose if you open it before the party. Happiness is always better sooner rather than later, Mel. I think I'll put it on right away. There. How does it look? That is very pretty. I don't know what I pictured when I thought rose necklace, but that looks gorgeous. It looks lovely. My prince is still the sweetest in all the land. Don't make such weird noises. Oh? But why not? A prince always knows exactly what his princess wants. And this princess wanted some jewelry to go with her new dress. Understand? Jeez. I sure don't have it easy playing your prince, Nelly. It might be about time you found a new one. A prince is a prince because you can't just find one standing in the street corner. If you want to retire, dearest Mel, you're gonna have to wait another 10 years. That's a long time. Or, if you find yourself a new princess. I'm not so... You're about as romantic as a rock, dearest Mel. Worry not, your adorable sister will always be your princess. What more could you want? Are you really allowed to be the judge of that? I mean more to you than any other girl in the world, do I not? Then that makes me your perfect princess. Hey, what was that laugh? What was that? Laugh and it'll all be over soon laugh. I got the laugh perfect, let's go. You're always telling me I mean more than anyone to you. Yes, you do. More than anyone in the world, my beloved baby sister. I'll take good care of this necklace. Thank you, my dearest Mel. Well, if you're happy with it, then so am I. You're very welcome. Now, back into the house with you. Can't have a party without the guest of honor. Do you know if anyone is here yet? Nope. I imagine they'll be here soon, though. Were you down at the church again today, Mel? Yeah, there was something I didn't know how to translate, so I went to look it up. Wow, so diligent. I can't say I really like the priest there, personally. Actually, I kind of feel the same way. What? Really? Why? Well, you know, I have my reasons. I was going to make a joke earlier. Like, the very easy joke about priests. But I think that actually just hinted at that. I didn't say anything because all priests, haha, funny little boys. But that hints at that, actually. And I'm worried that that's actually what happened. So even you don't always like the priest, huh? Let's skip mass on Sunday then. We can go play. No skipping church. As grew the brother, so too did the sister. That day, Nellie would be turning 14, and Mel, 3 years her senior, was 17. You saw it with your own eyes, so you know just how much she has changed. She was always a cute little girl, and she grew into an even more beautiful young woman. Though she was only 14, she was well on her way to becoming a fine lady. As for her character, well... But a girl like that has her own charms, would you not say? Drifting down the river of time, the two siblings matured into healthy young adults. Okay, so nothing bad happened that day. I thought something bad might have happened at the birthday, but seems like they're fine. But the core of their relationship did not change in the slightest. Nellie was very much attached to her brother, and as much as Mel complained, he still cared deeply for his sister. Around the time the sun had begun to set, carriages started lining up outside as well-dressed aristocrats made their way into the house. I keep bringing my mouse over here. I don't know why I keep moving my mouse into frame. there's no reason for it to be in the middle of the screen, but I can't help it. I'm just gonna keep it here. As Nelly had suspected, the majority of them were boys. Wait. So, are we still at the birthday? It kind of fast-forwarded a little bit, talking about how they grew into fine young adults, but are we still at this birthday, or is this more in the future at another birthday thing? Hello, hello, Pew. Welcome in. Thank you for showing up. I always appreciate it. Yes, I understand. You don't need to say anything more. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. What do I do? Okay. Going down here brings that up. Rose Manor, right? I don't know what voices to give this. I don't know who's talking. Okay, we'll go together. Me? Alone? No, please, don't make me. The inhabitants of Rose Manor are surely living quite contented lives. And I'm sure they don't remember a thing. Yes, Tinkles was the first. You're the... 1, 2, 3, 4. You are the 5th. When you say... But you're 50 minutes after I started, so... it's... Of course you weren't first. The room with the fireplace was always kept in pristine condition, so they could entertain guests at any time. Walls colorfully decorated with tapestries and stained glass windows gave testament to their great fortune. The servant's first assignment of every morning was to clean this room. You were working on your friend's server? That's okay. You don't need to... I'm just happy you show up at all. Pitchers, silver plates, and silverware were polished to a shine so they could be proudly put to use at a moment's notice. And for events like their daughter's birthday, the room served an even more important role. The table's tops were removable, so they had ordered new tabletops with designs made especially for this occasion. And once the banquet had drawn to a close, tables speckled with half-empty wine glasses and leftover candied fruits were moved off to the side table to make room for, of course, the festivities. Good evening, Lady Nelly. You're looking particularly lovely today. Nelly, I had these jewels cut just for you. You'll let me have this dance, won't you? Is this in the future, or is this still the birthday? Because her sprite hasn't changed. Her art hasn't changed, so I'm assuming this is still the same day. Yes, he hasn't changed either. What's the matter, Nelly? You look exhausted. These are pretty good. Want one? I know you like sweets. They're apples candied in rock sugar, I think. You disappoint me, dearest Mel. Huh? What do you think is the matter? They just keep coming, it never ends. It's driving me up the wall. Everyone's just repeating the same lines they've been taught. Pew, can you stop, please? They all think pretty jewels and requests to dance are enough to make a girl swoon. I've already asked you to stop about that. But if that is true for you, Nelly. Though, why is she disappointed with me? Oh, I think I'm done with birthday parties after this year. We'll probably throw an even bigger one next year. Huh? Why? Well, you know, you're about that age, Nelly. We are a reasonably distinguished family, so there are a number of different houses that would like to have connections with us. So what you're saying is do it for the family? No, that's not... I won't date or marry anyone. What's the game about? So the beginning of the game was our character woke up in a decrepit mansion without any knowledge of anything really. They had faint, like, emotions about knowing the surrounding areas, but they didn't know it. And so the maid who is calling us master took our hand and is guiding us through like memories of this mansion. And there was one where they were a little like, this is still the first memory. I have a feeling there's going to be several stories to like several stories of flashbacks. There was one that was part of this story before this, like 4 years before, I think, where they were a little younger. That was very, very short. So right now we're just, I guess, learning the history of the mansion. I think that's what the game's going to be. But this was this is one of the highest rated visual novels. And I wanted to play a visual novel. So I thought this looked good. I love the aesthetic. It looks gorgeous. It sounds really nice. People seem to really like it, so I'm giving it a try. I'm enjoying it. I won't date or marry anyone. I have no interest in being used as a pawn in their inter-family politics. Pawn? I wouldn't go that far. And I'm sure Father wants you to let you choose yourself. You know, someone you actually love. Love? I never thought I would hear you talking about love, dearest Mel. You don't even understand what makes Shakespeare's plays so beautiful, and you're talking about love? You fell asleep during Romeo and Juliet, and you're talking about love? We went all the way out to the Globe Theatre, too. Well, pardon me for being ignorant when it comes to romance and the arts. But you're not, Nellie. Shakespeare's make-believe story made you cry like a baby. He's talking here. You're Shakespeare, so you're saying you're a good poet? Anyone would cry at that. You'd have to be crazy to sleep through it. That's not what I'm saying. Someone as emotionally vibrant as you, Nellie, would have no problem finding love. Ah, dearest Mel. We should dance. Yeah, Bew, we caught you, Bew. Bew, we caught you. I'm screenshotting that. Screenshotting. It's screenshotted. I have evidence that you said you're Shakespeare. Lady No, could I have this? Let's dance. Let's dance, dearest Mel. What? Me? Wait, Come on, I really like this song. Quit pulling on me, Nellie. What's the point of us dancing? We're siblings. Uh-oh. 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 Mother and father are staring daggers at us. No matter. What day is it today, dearest Mel? Your birthday. Exactly, so I can do what I want. Now, attend to your princess, as a proper prince should. Oh, jeez, how did I get myself into this? Nellie's flirt fluttered along with her as she stepped in time to the music. And, the narrator is the maid telling us the story. She was not only a skilled singer, but a skilled dancer as well. Mel, on the other hand, fumbled over his own feet trying to keep up. One would be hard-pressed to describe his dance abilities as good, even as flattery. Though boys of his pedigree were taught to dance as part of their etiquette lessons, he found himself more being dragged around by his sister. He could hardly be said to be attending to her. This is humiliating. Because his parents had been cut off in raising him. That sounded like... I don't know what song this sounds like. Sounds like Claire de Lune, I think. I think that's what it is. It's not, but it sounds like it. Largely giving him free rein to study what he had pleased. Mel looked like a tangled-up marionette. From throughout the hall, he could hear giggling, uncomfortable chuckling, and people coughing to disguise their laughter. Come now, dearest Mel. If this is the best you can manage, what are you going to do when you find a girl that catches your eye? I won't, so it doesn't matter. Follow my lead, Mel. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nellie alone enjoyed her time dancing with her brother, and quite thoroughly at that. It did not matter to her that he moved awkwardly or that the guests were giving them cold stares. It was their parents who first cracked under the pressure, just as their father was about to give an exasperated cough and stop the music. A ruckus suddenly swelled up near the entrance. Was I right? I knew something bad was going to happen at this birthday. What could that be? Who knows? Whatever's going on, I've been spared. Don't say that. You jinxed it. The music came to a stop, and the party guests began bustling. The siblings' father spoke up sternly above the noise in order to quell the spreading commotion. He ordered the servants to investigate. Had the music restarted, gave a short apology for the interruption, and set the party back on course. I went to go check on the entrance with the other servants, as I recall. Oh my, why are you looking at me like that? These are not my memories, but those which dwell within the mansion. Do you think we should be following what happens next from my perspective, then? That is not what confused you? Well, your question shall be answered in time. In time. Now, let us return to our tale. Though the party had fallen still for a moment, their father's decisive actions restored the guests' festive moods in short order. Though it was not, by any means, the commotion that caused the ball to conclude earlier than planned. What did? What did do that? Oh dear, I hear thunder. It was rather loud, too. Sounds like we have quite the storm brewing. They lived in a country where the weather was nothing if not unpredictable. Rain was a frequent occurrence there. The stretches of time with clear skies grew longer as summer approached, but the weather was still somewhat unstable on the cusp of the two seasons. They had a strong wind that night as well, which turned the raindrops into little smears on the windows. Were the party to continue on any longer, no one would be able to go home. Although their father was quite concerned that Nellie had not got on with any of the aristocrat boys, he decided to cut the festivities short. Thank goodness it ended early. How lucky am I? This must be a blessing for always being such a good girl. I'm not sure having your own birthday party cut short counts as lucky. But it was no fun. I can't help it if I'm not enjoying myself. And for heaven's sake, Arthur was here. I have no interest in dancing with that dunce. Arthur? Who's that again? Someone who was here? Unbelievable. You don't remember anything, do you, dearest Mel? He came over to play a few times when we were little. He's covered in gross freckles, and he's a huge jerk. Okay, I was gonna say that freckles are cute, but they're mostly cute on girls. Freckles are adorable. On guys, for some reason, I can understand why she would say that. He had my hair looked like... he said my hair looked like the color of fallen leaves. Fallen leaves? Just thinking about that ugly smirk has me fuming. Oh, old insults. And yet he acts like nothing happened. She would probably have an aneurysm if you said her hair looked like shit. She would actually probably... a blood vessel would be popped. He even calls me Lady Nelly, for goodness sake. Are you listening, dearest Mel? I'm listening. I'm listening. I wonder what the ruckus was earlier. Ah, you weren't listening, were you? Who cares about that? Sorry, but aren't you curious? It probably wasn't another guest, at least. Maybe a cat sneaked in. You think so? I do. But enough about that. Would you like to play cards in my room, dearest Mel? She has a... This is weird. She is weird. I'm gonna say it. She's adorable, but she's weird. Seriously? I'm exhausted, though. It's not even that late. Okay, but she, like, okay. She is 14. I don't know how common it is for, like, them to still really, really love their older brother, but I feel like it's a little too much. It's a little too much for her. Fine. Something feels kind of off. A cat? I want to go check. Come on, hurry up! Hold on. You don't need to drag me, Nelly. My birthday isn't over yet, so you're not done attending to me. Oh, Nelly. Yeah, something really does feel off. That commotion wasn't just nothing. Something bad happened. Whatever could it be that happened? The rain just won't let up. I can't sleep. I wonder what the commotion earlier was about. Oh, for goodness sake. It's all this storm's fault. That's why I can't sleep. I'm just fretting over nothing. I'm sure Nelly was right. It was just a cat. Maybe a dog. I can't sleep. I hardly ever have this much problem falling asleep. What could this feeling be, I wonder? It's not quite foreboding. Walking around the house at this time of night isn't going to help anything. I'm not going to fall asleep just lying here. The only sound that could be heard in the dark corridors were the sharp pitter-patter of the rain, his footsteps, and his breathing. Though he was intimately familiar with the layout of the house, that night, the hallways felt like an endless labyrinth veiled in shadows. No moonlight shone through the windows, though he naturally found himself moving cautiously, despite being in his own residence. Keeping the palm of his hand pressed up against the chilly wall, he put one foot in front of the other. But to where was he supposed to head? Head. Both of those words work, actually, but that just says head. Heed still works there. Mel, of course, had no way of answering that question himself. I was just caught up in the language it was using. If he had anything, it was guidance from above. The path to his destination lit by flashes of lightning. I would be hitting myself if I was in this situation. Nothing is happening, but being in... I mean, it's different for him because he lives in the mansion, but being in a mansion with this thunder and lightning going on, I would be shitting myself. Or perhaps there was something else leading him along. Though he progressed with a fair bit of hesitation in his step, Mel was slowly but surely drawing nearer to one room in particular. He made his way through the seemingly endless halls. Past the living room, its fireplace long since cooled. Into another corridor. And then stopped outside an Abigail's bedchamber. Un-Abigail? It's not Abigail, it's Un-Abigail. The dim glow of a lamp spilled through the cracks in the door. A gust of wind is not necessary to make a flame flicker. A person's movements or vibrations in the air from someone speaking, the slightest of motions can cause the light of a fire to quiver, shifting subtly as though nudged by an invisible fingertip. I can see the light from inside. Is she still awake? A voice. He seemed to be hesitating. It would not be difficult for him to approach the door and peer inside, but he had reservations about peeping in on another's chambers, even if it was his own house. Moreover, this room was assigned to a woman. There was a woman behind that door. What would you do, Master, in this situation? Would you succumb to your curiosity and gaze inside? Or would you respect the owner's privacy? I have to... Let's see. If I hit save... Okay, it'll show up. Looking into this game, there was no 18 plus. But just in case I have to censor something, I can just... Easy. Would you respect the owner's privacy? I shouldn't be doing this. But the voice... It feels like it's calling to... me? Or someone else? Yes, me. Could sense someone watching me at that moment. Oh, okay, so the maid's name is Abigail. Okay. Easy, we know. We're figuring stuff out. We got this. We're being told stuff. He had succumbed to his curiosity. He stood on the other side of the door from me, his flaxen eyes opened wide, trying to remain as invisible as possible. The wavering in his heart seemed to create faint ripples in the air, which I pretended not to notice. Yes, I knew he was there. I could sense his presence and his wavering emotions. However, I could not begin to speculate as to his true feelings, or how great a surprise this was to him. Also, another thing that hints at that we are Mel is the fact that Abigail calls us Master. It's still making sense. I too am discovering new facets of this tale by viewing it through the eyes of the mansion. But it is not I who is of concern, Master. It is you. You and... I know I shouldn't be doing this. I should be ashamed of myself. But I can't look away. Okay, no, we're fine. Who is that? Her skin. It's so pale you can practically see through it. Is it that white because she was out in the cold rain? Her hair is white as snow, and her eyes, they're closed. They're closed. I can't see them. Like, how do I describe it? My vocabulary truly lacks for situations like this. They look like blood? No, that's just disturbing. Then wine, perhaps? No, more translucent than that. Gemstones, then. Yes, gemstones. Her eyes were like rubies. I've never seen anyone like her before. What could they be talking about? Mel's eyes were affixed on the peculiar young woman. I assume this is the commotion that there was. She had glass-like skin, eyes that glimmered in the flickering candlelight, and snow-white hair that flowed like luxurious silk. But her lips were, bluish purple. Her soft, delicate skin sullied with grime. Her twinkling eyes pointed down at the floor, and her hair a disheveled mess. She was, even at a glance, clearly not a lady of means. The tips of her fingers were cracked from the cold, her nails pale from malnutrition, and her garb little more than rags. However, true beauty is always visible, no matter what it may be hidden beneath. Even wrapped in a veil of insalubrity, I think that's that word. Even if she thought herself hideous. I wonder what happened to her. Mel could no longer avert his gaze from the girl's visage, or visage. Same thing. He had, for the time being, forgotten the shame he felt for peeping. Yawn. Wait. As he strained his ears to hear the conversation taking place inside, a sickly voice arose from the white-haired girl's purple lips. So feeble was the sound that a gentle breeze blowing through the room could carry it away. I apologize for the trouble. Think nothing of it. Give your apologies and thanks to the mistress. Understood. There is something strangely comforting about this house, almost as if I've been here before. If my father were here, I'm sure he would be quite fond of it. I'm sorry about your father. That's not... There's nothing you could have done, I imagine. When you came out to our rescue, he was already... Rescue? Father? Was that perchance what the commotion was about? He stared intently, entranced by the scene unfolding beyond the door. A gaze can often signal one's presence to others more effectively than words. That is so true. I can sense when people are looking. The white-haired girl could easily sense him there as well. She flicked her gem-like eyes upward. Can I see them? That is the perfect way to describe her name. Nope. Her eyes. Gems. Those are definitely gems. That was when the boy finally felt a pang of panic. For a split second, his flaxen eyes met her ruby eyes, causing him to recoil from the door. His heart was pounding like the rain outside. Careful not to make a sound, he took 2 steps away. Did she catch me? I'm not sure. It was only for a moment. She can't have seen me. The boy did not have the courage to peek in on the room a second time, so he cautiously returned to his bedchamber as quietly as he could manage. But even beneath his covers, he could not erase that girl's eyes from his memory. Her melancholic red irises, her voice delicate as a glass sculpture, her pale, almost lifeless skin, her pure white hair. Every singular detail kept him from banishing her image from his mind. Nor could he restrain his heavily pounding heart. Who could she be? See, I don't know why this maid doesn't think she's pretty. This maid is gorgeous. Like, her hair especially, the thing that she bashed herself for. I love that, like, her hair is like glossy black. Is something the matter? No, I just thought I felt someone watching us. It's only your imagination, I'm sure. If not your imagination, then perhaps some unseen force was watching you. Unseen force? Are you familiar with how people refer to this mansion? Rose Manor. Yes, indeed. It is called Rose Manor because you can smell the sweet fragrance of the rose garden even at a great distance. But that is not what I meant. It is said that a witch resides within the house. A witch? I have not heard any such stories. You probably wouldn't have. It was a very, very long time ago. Nothing you need to concern yourself with. You have a peculiar presence about you. I wonder if the story's true. I wonder who the witch is. Should I consider that a compliment? It's getting late. You should get some rest. A room has already been set aside for you. But first, may I ask you one thing? Yes? I do not believe you have given me your name. My name... My name is... Don't... I had a feel... L. I had a feeling I was going to do something like that. Watch her name be Mel. Wake up. Get up, Mel. What? Huh? It's morning? You disappoint me, dearest Mel. It's very much long since morning. I didn't see you at breakfast, so I came to find out what was the matter. I've really been asleep for that long? And father is too lenient on you, dearest Mel. Oversleeping is hardly proper behavior for a firstborn son. I know. But before that... Yes, dearest Mel? What are you doing in here? You can't just go prancing into a boy's bedchamber. Leave that to the servants. I did send one for you. You're the one who refused to wake up. Besides, it's not like we're strangers. We used to sleep together all the time. That was long ago. Things are different now. Oh, you're overthinking it, silly. Now hurry up. Out of bed, sleepyhead. Oh, alright, I'm getting up. So you can see yourself out. Oh my, you look awful, dearest Mel. For someone who overslept, you look like you didn't get a wink last night. You think so? I don't know if those... I was gonna say I don't know if those bags were always under his eyes, but she also... That's probably just makeup, but... Also probably just it's just the sprite. It's just how the art looks. You didn't go in the town last night, did you? Naughty, naughty boy. I would never. You know that. You squeaked. I don't believe you. I didn't go out last night or anything. I'm tired because you had me playing cards until late, Nelly. Hey, we weren't playing for that long. Besides, look at me. I got up just fine. Anyways, ooh. I can't get dressed with you in here. Fine, I'm leaving. Oh, I almost forgot, dearest Mel. What now? Come on, no need to be mean. I'm sure you'll be quite surprised at the news. Oh? At breakfast, which you missed, Father told us. Told you what? Do I really want to say? It sounds like you want me out of your room, dearest Mel. Please, Nelly. We got a new maid today. From a house we have ties to, supposedly. I've never seen anyone like her before. For supposedly coming from a good family, she isn't very graceful, and I've never seen her at social gatherings. But that's not the surprising part. Does that made... She's peculiar. She has a very unusual appearance, that one. Have white hair. What? How did you know that, dearest Mel? Thanks, Nelly. Hey, get back here! Oh, for goodness sake, what's gotten into him? Bah. At the time, the majority of the servants at the mansion were men. However, the ladies of the house all had Abigails, so there were several women servants, myself included. So Abigails is a word, not just a name. I don't know what the word means. I'm assuming that an Abigail is like a trainee or someone like how in high school you would do what was it called? Or you wouldn't do it in high school, but in grade school how you would shadow high schoolers. I'm assuming it's something like that, except you're not just shadowing them, you're learning. So like you are being trained, but it's maybe less hands-on. And maybe Abigail is just a word for when maids or something of the like are being trained. I don't know what the word what an Abigail is, besides it just being a name. The maids, by and large, were selected from the daughters of other esteemed families. It was, you could say, a sort of training before they entered society. The girls would serve at houses even more powerful than their own. As the white-haired girl Mel saw the night before was one such maid. When he heard this, Mel could not sit still any longer. Oh, I really didn't think this through, did I? I don't even know where she is. I'm guessing she's probably Mother's maid. White hair. It has to be the girl from last night. But deep down, he was having difficulty believing the young woman he had seen the previous night was truly here to be a servant. Can you blame him? When he saw her, she was an absolute mess. Hardly what you could envision. Whoa, hardly what you would envision from a girl of class. That's mean, but also that's pretty true, I guess. But he did not seek her to find out whether that was true. He merely wanted to see her once more, to ascertain whether what he had witnessed the previous night was real or his imagination. And he wanted to have an actual conversation with her. I don't want to run into Mother. That would be awkward. He was heading towards his mother's bedchambers, but the closer he drew, the heavier each step grew. He rounded a corner, debating whether or not to head back, and stopped in his tracks. Bars! Both of those lines rhymed. The one before this and this one, they both rhymed. On occasion, wishes do come true. When Mel turned the corner, he saw her. The same girl. The same white hair. She's gorgeous. Oh my god. She appeared to be cleaning the hallway. She traced along the wooden carvings lining the walls, making certain not to miss a single, even a speck of dust. The girl wore a pristine dress, the uniform of the mansion's Abigails. There was no longer any filth to obscure her beauty. One second. I think I'm done. Maybe? Wait. Yes, I'm done. All that had covered her pure white hair was glass-like skin, and glass-like skin was no longer. The one thing that had not changed was her listless ruby eyes. Pardon me. Wait, okay, she looks so very similar. I don't remember her name. The detective from the first Danganronpa. She looks almost identical to her. Her colors are all the same. I think it's just the way it's shaded, but the way it looks like there's slight purple highlights to her hair, that looks really good. Like, I know that's just shadow, but it looks a little purple. Character design idea. Stealing. Hearing his footsteps, the young woman raised her head. That's the second time I've done that. She caught Mel's gaze for a brief moment and merely blinked at him in silence. Lord Mel, yes? Your father informed me of you. Did he? I'm sure I don't need to introduce myself then. I believe she made an attempt to smile, but it was difficult to tell, but she quickly dropped her gaze back to the floor. Flax and Ruby met only for the briefest moments. He seemed to be looking at both someone and no one at all. Everyone here truly has the most beautiful color of hair. Have you seen yourself? Did you have business with me, with the mistress, Lord Mal? I can let her know if you would like. Whoa. Speaking so softly sometimes just doesn't make my voice work. I can let her know if you would like. No, I was looking for you. For me? Mel felt as though all the blood in his body began to flow backwards. He could not effectively describe the sensation, but in a word, it resembled panic. On his way to find her, Mel had come up with a number of subjects he wanted to talk about, and he generally had little trouble speaking with others. He'd had less experience interacting with women, this was true, but the time he had spent around Nellie had kept him from stumbling too much. Until then. Yes, for you. Why would you be looking for me, Lord Mel? I was wondering how you were doing. Pardon? I am quite fine. Good, that's great to hear. You fool, Mel. What are you even saying? You have more important things to ask, like where she came from, or to tell her she has pretty hair and eyes. Ooh, my boy Mel is feeling something. But I don't want to trouble her too much. Lord Mel? Yes? Sorry, you just suddenly fell silent. Was I, in your way? New voice unlocked? Oh my, I keep trying to, like, go higher and higher, and, like, my... New voice unlocked? In my way? No, not at all. What are you up to? I'm cleaning. Well, yeah, I didn't even need to ask. My boy Mel, panicking. He's feeling something. You're cleaning. I've never seen something so awkward. Yep. You can just let the other servants take care of the cleaning. You're one of the noble's daughters we took in, right? Then why is mother making... No, I'm doing this because I want to. The mistress appeared to be busy. I could not simply be idle. But... I enjoy cleaning. Oh, well, if you say so. Say, yesterday... This mansion is truly a thing of beauty. All the many roses in the garden, even the furnishing has a great deal of thought put into it. This family must have a wonderful sense of aesthetic. Oh, yeah, thanks. Did she just change the subject on me? I'm delighted to have been given the opportunity to serve such a magnificent house. Mother and father actually had nothing to do with that, not even the garden. That's all been around since my grandfather's time. The mansion was a complete wreck when he bought it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised he still paid money for it. The chandelier in the foyer was shattered and only half attached to the ceiling. Most of the decorations on the walls were broken.
I can hardly imagine. This is a marvelous, impressive home.
House, she said house. Whatever.
I'm sure he'd be flattered to hear it.
My grandfather was a bit of an eccentric. He liked to do things people didn't expect just to watch the looks of surprise on their faces. He would make a great content creator. He was the kind of man who would buy a mansion that was beyond repair just to give it a completely new life. Everyone who had seen the property before it was renovated was astonished. They regretted not taking the opportunity themselves, seeing the transformation it underwent.
Huh?
I was just thinking that you're kind of like this house.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, when you first arrived... Oh, no, never mind. Forget it. He keeps forgetting he's not supposed to have known before today. Still figured out you were peeping on her, stupid. She hasn't yet, has she?
Yes?
It's nothing. The more I think about it, you and the mansion aren't really comparable. Smooth.
Oh.
The truth is, it being a rundown mess isn't the only reason nobody wanted to buy the house. They say that all who dwell within this house shall be met with misfortune. Do you believe it? I'm just kidding. It's not actually true. It's all rumors and hearsay, embellished to make the tale more exciting. See, I can't help but theorize, just constantly thinking to myself, she could have just been exasperated at the fact that he said that, but I do think that what no, it wasn't Abigail. Shit, what was her name? I don't remember what the maid's name is. Fuck. I don't remember what her name is, but she said something about a witch. He said something about that. I think the witch is real. I mean, obviously, like, they're not just saying this just to say it. Something's gonna happen. Some twist is gonna be a thing. And I think it's either the maid who's the witch, especially because what she's doing with you right now, showing you all of this stuff, that would make sense. Or this new girl is, and she doesn't know. It's like she brings misfortune. Something like that. Those are my theories. The rumors only started because of how it used to look. If the mansion truly begot misfortune, then we wouldn't still be here. What if it's like the white lead poisoning from One Piece? It affects every generation and then hits simultaneously. And it wouldn't explain how my grandfather died. Do you know how he passed away?
No. How did he?
Inside a lovely lady. Hell yeah. That's the way to go.
What?
Believe it or not. That's how he died, together with a young, beautiful woman. His time ran out while he was making love to her, they say. Rather crude way to go.
But he was hardly misfortunate.
What did I tell you?
Yes?
Just so you know, I promise I didn't inherit my grandfather's propensity for such base behavior. I am pure of body and spirit, dedicated wholly to my studies, so... Hey, she laughed.
My apologies.
No, it's fine. Anyways, we were talking about the mansion, right? I've always thought it was kind of a strange place myself. That dress you're wearing, it was found after my grandfather bought it. You don't see that kind of design around these parts, so I'm guessing it was probably imported. The architecture is really old-fashioned too, which must have caught my grandfather's eye. When he announced his plans to buy it, the entire family opposed his decision, but he refused to budge. Renovation upon renovation gave the mansion new life, but of all his work, he was most fond of the roses in the garden. He collected species from all over the world, and every time he got a new one, he would summon gardeners to arrange and grow them. It took incredibly long to complete. There were even some that wouldn't grow in the climate of this land, but grandfather refused to give in.
He truly loved roses.
Me? I don't get how someone could be so impassioned about them. It's just embarrassing every time someone calls this house Rose Manor.
Perhaps the roses were meant for someone.
What?
I am simply speculating. Roses make wonderful gifts after all.
Indeed, they do. If you like roses as much as Nellie, then you're welcome to go see them for yourself. Pick as many as you'd like. If anyone asks, just say I gave you permission. Don't be shy. I'm sure it'll get tiring if all you do is work.
No, I'm, sensitive to sunlight.
Vampire! Oh, that's unusual. Perhaps that explains why you're so pale. I had no idea. That sounds rough. And your skin is so pretty too.
You don't seem terribly surprised.
What? Oh, no, I am very much surprised. Or would you have preferred a more dramatic response?
No, I expected you to find it disturbing. I'm sensitive to sunlight and can hardly spend any time outside. That makes me sound like some sort of demonic creature.
Oh, you worry too much. There's not a monster in the world as sweet as you. My guy is smooth. Mel got this.
Yes?
Are the other maids teasing you, perhaps? The black-haired one especially, she's... How do I put it? A little frightening. Almost as if she has a steel heart or something. She's impenetrable. Right, she's one of the mother's maids, isn't she? Now I'm even more worried. Since you refuse to follow my instructions, you are henceforth hellspawn. I can imagine her saying that. Oh, and again.
I am very sorry.
No need to apologize. In fact, I wish you'd laugh more.
She's actually very kind to me, and everything she does with incredible precision and efficiency. She looks so young, and yet she has such skill. How long has she been here in the mansion?
Actually, she's been here for quite some time, but I don't know exactly how long. Theory! That adds to my theory! She's absolutely the witch she was talking about. No one knows how old she is. It's kind of creepy.
I have never once considered her such
Sorry, you're right. It's bad manners to speak ill of others. Either way, it still scares me. It's like there's no light in her eyes, or like her smiles are all fake. It doesn't make her any less pretty, though. More awkwardness. The conversation died. I'm starting to think of... I have to think of something else to talk about. Yes. You can ask me anything.
Does the master, your father, Lord Mel, often retire from the mansion? I have not seen him around.
Oh, yeah. Father frequently returns home. This mansion is actually our secondary home. Why do you ask, though?
I was just curious. Nothing more.
I saw on stream. You can see that on stream. Tinkles is going to VTube Studio. Oh, probably because of the window capture and the game capture. Fun fact, for some reason, game capture would not capture the screen of the game, but it was capturing the audio. It took me so long to figure out how to capture the screen. I just used a window capture instead, and that worked, but the window capture wouldn't capture the audio. So I had to use both of them, and they had to work together to capture the whole game. Yes, what is it?
One of the maids asked to see me, so I should be on my way. If you'll excuse me.
What?
All right. See you later then. Goodbye.
Oh, right, one moment. Since you're sensitive to the sun, I can pick some roses from time to time for you. For you to decorate your room.
Lord Mel.
That's all. Sorry for holding you up. Why am I so bad at this? Me and you both, brother. She definitely thinks I'm obnoxious. Ugh, I want to hide under a rock. I want to reverse time and try this over again.
Roses are not becoming of me. He is too kind.
My boy, Mel is not messing this up. He got this. She is gorgeous, though. Oh, like... She still reminds me of the girl from Danganronpa. I don't remember her name still. I can't think of it. Alright, I am scared to find out why he doesn't like the priest. The obvious joke is obvious, but the way he acted when he was talking to Nelly about also also not really liking the priest, saying he has his reasons.
I mean, it's hinting at it.
You have my thanks, Father. And I apologize for being late today. Now there's something unusual. You not being punctual. Maybe next we'll go a whole month without rain. Do have mercy on this year's crops, Mel. You hyperbolize, Father. So, did something nice happen? Huh? You look like you're in good spirits. Do I? No, it's nothing. Something did happen, did it? It's all over my face, isn't it? But he doesn't seem to be acting really weary around the priest. Which I feel like you would expect. People prefer an open book to a face of stone. So it is. People may prefer it, but it's good but it's a good trait to have for social engagements. What? Not the kind of engagements you'll be having anyway. Rude. I'm sorry. Don't look so dejected. For now, at least. There's nothing wrong with that. So, tell me, what has you in such a joyous mood, Mel? You torment me so, Father. We've taken on another maid. You know how that goes, right? Someone new comes in and things get lively for a while. All the excitement has gotten to me, that's all. Oh ho ho. Why are you looking at me like that? No reason, no reason. So, what family does this little lady come from? Oh, I don't actually know. You don't know? I was going to ask her, but I missed my chance. Father has returned home, and I can't speak to Mother. I see. She's caught your eye, hasn't she? Yeah, she has. But the truth is, you're more than just interested in her, are you not? But no, I... You truly do enjoy tormenting me. Well, I should be getting home now. Mel. Yes? Make certain you find out where she is from. If you're genuinely interested in her, it's your responsibility to determine if she's actually suitable for you. Thank you, and excuse me. It doesn't matter if she's from an esteemed family or not. No, I'm not going to fall in love with her. No, I'm not in love with her. I'm just interested. This isn't love. No, it couldn't be. See, he's been weird about love for a bit, which is common for someone going through trauma. Maybe I'm looking too deep into this, but from the style of the game, it like makes me think that it would go into psychological, like actually research psychological stuff and trauma responses and stuff like that. Because this game is so highly received, I'm assuming that it would do something like that. This is me we're talking about. Besides, I hardly even know her. Oh. I'm sorry. I actually have to take a screenshot of this. I actually have to take a screenshot of this. There we go. I hardly even know her. It's in a visual novel. I have to say that every beggar, I hardly even know her. Young sire. Blessed young sire, alms for the poor. It's the same beggar as before. I hardly even know her. I don't think he's moved since then. But he looks skinnier than last time. He's going to have trouble making it through the summer. I should give him something while I still have the chance. Alms for the poor, have mercy. Sorry, but this is all I have to give you. Thank you very much. Blessings upon you. May the Lord bless your soul, young sire. Thanks. I feel bad for him, but that's just the way of the world. Farewell. I don't know why. Doing the beggar's voice, I hardly even know her. Doing the beggar's voice is my favorite. I don't know why. But then, doing the white-haired girl was also I also kind of like doing that voice. It really tests how high and soft I can go. The skies are really clear. The sun shone fiercely down on the town that day. As was characteristic of the area, cloudy days and rain were frequent during this season, but the rain almost always took the stage the day after a storm. The cathedral standing tall in the center of town, the stone-paved streets clacking with the pleasant sound of footsteps, the people peering out from beneath awnings to look up at the sky. In Mel's eyes, it was as if they were all blessed by a divine light. However, not everyone living in the same land was equally blessed. In fact, the blessed were far outnumbered by the Forsaken. Even if their time would later come to be referred to as the Golden Age. Elsewhere, back at the mansion, Nellie was causing trouble for the Abigails. Nellie! Not again. On a whim, she had decided to redecorate her bedchambers. So she gathered the maids and put them to work, shouting orders and demands and complaints. She had not summoned only her personal servants, but others as well, including the white-haired girl.
No, not like that. How many times must I tell you? The tapestry goes by the door, and I don't like this carpet's pattern.
Nellie, calm your shit.
Is there anything else we can change it with? Hey, who put this ugly vase here?
Nellie appeared to be rather irritated, and it was the servants who bore the brunt of her frustration. Though if they found this similarly vexing, none of them showed it. She was a girl who spoke her mind, a trait particular to that time in history. Women of the Golden Age were so vivacious, in fact, that it inspired parody and satire in foreign countries. But no matter how hands-off her parents were, had Nellie been born a generation earlier, she likely would not have been able to act so free-spirited. That day, however, Nellie did not seem to be her usual self. Though she always spoke her mind, it rarely went beyond being childishly adorable. It was unusual to see her in such a foul mood, not even a smile on her face.
Get rid of it all. The carpet, that chair, the desk, it's all so ugly. We don't have anything better? If we don't, then order it, have it made. You can do that much, can't you? Hurry up and replace them.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to do both of these voices? Keeping my lower mouth hurting. Oh, at least I have brief pause bits where the maid talks. Having only arrived that morning, the white-haired girl was unsure what she was supposed to be doing, caught in the middle of a flurry of maids and furniture and fabric. She chased frantically scrambling Abigails with her eyes and made attempts to help. But not being familiar with the work, she only ended up getting in the way. She probably felt that everyone would be better off with her not in the room. So when the maids ordered to get new furniture, made their way out of Nellie's room, she attempted to follow them.
You hold on a second. Yes, you, with the white hair.
However, Nellie stopped her before she could take her leave.
What?
The white-haired girl turned back, bewildered, to find Nellie smiling at her. The corners of her mouth were turned into a self-assured grin. There was no trace of timidity or uncertainty in her demeanor. Her flaxen eyes seemed like they would look nice under the light of the sun. Almost the exact opposite of the white-haired girl.
I wanted to talk with you, actually. But Mother was never one to share. I asked her to trade maids, but she wouldn't have it. Trade? You mean for... Which is why I decided to completely redecorate my room. Because then I would need some extra hands. But why? Because Mother and Father refused to tell me anything. Why is that? Why is that? Who are you exactly? Where did you come from? Tell me, what house are you from? Why can't you tell me? If we took you in, you must be from a fairly decent family. As a member of the Rhodes family, I have the right to know. Do I not?
You can't expect me to welcome a girl into my home who won't even tell me where she came from. I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen you at any parties.
I'm... I came from another country.
Another country? What country?
Somewhere very, very far away.
Oh? North of here? East, west, south?
South. It's south of here. I crossed the sea to get here, which is why we have never met before.
How far did you have to travel then? How many times did the sun rise? How many stormy nights did you face?
Innumerable days and nights we sailed, heading ever further north.
Huh. So tell me.
Lady Nellie, that is the most wonderful painting.
She just tried to brush me off. I won't let her get away that easy. Painting? It's in my room, so of course it's beautiful.
But that one especially so. You're both so adorable.
You, Lady Nellie,
And Lord Mel. How old were you when it was painted?
huh? Ah, that painting. Goodness. Yes, you have good eye for art. It is magnificent, isn't it? Oh, the front of my throat is being pained from these high voices talking to each other. Oh. This is done for me when I was 4 and Mel was 7. You see how we're standing next to each other, holding hands? I was too young to remember it very well, but Mel looks like he was really embarrassed. But standing like statues makes us... but standing there like statues makes for a boring painting. Nellie explained brightly, having completely forgotten she was pressed up against the white-haired girl. She did a twirl, stopping to face the portrait, though many paintings lined the walls of her room. Nellie was most fond of the one of her and her brother. Two darling siblings standing side by side, the older brother smiling kindly and the younger sister sweetly tilting her head, her cheeks the color of fresh-picked apples. It was like the very embodiment of their happiness. The painting lays its subjects bare. You know, fortune and misfortune, happiness and sorrow, enshrined on canvas for all to see. And this reflection is not merely limited to the point in time it was made either. Did you know, Master, that paintings are alive? They are drawn with a brush over an exhausted stretch of time, unlike photographs, which capture a singular moment. The two have their own individual merits, but a photograph is still, while a painting moves. Portraits reveal both the past and the present state of those they depict. Mel and I have always been close. I would sing songs for him and he would teach me about all sorts of things. He's so smart. Nowadays, Mel hardly even goes on walks with me, making excuses like I'm an adult now, but we used to spend a lot of time playing together in the rose garden.
I see.
Wait. The white-haired girl normally had difficulty smiling, but her lips naturally curled upward as Nellie reminisced. A vision of the two happy siblings had probably swelled up in her mind, and I imagine there was a faint trace of envy in her heart as well. Envy, that's me. That's me, I'm a sin of envy.
Lady Nellie, you love Lord Mel quite deeply, I see.
Yes, of course I do. Mel is smart, he's studious, and he's incredibly kind. For my birthday, he gave me this wonderful rose necklace. The jewelry shop he got it from is famous. Even the royal family make the commissions from their workshop. So he had to order it months in advance. Just for me. He's a prince. Oh? He's pretty charming, wouldn't you say? That's why I call him my prince. But I keep yawning. I was hoping I'd be able to get to, like, the first act / first door today. But I don't know. But you know what? Mel is a terrible dancer. And he still hasn't gotten his feet on the ground yet. And he's so bad at interacting with girls. So there's no wonder who would... Whoa. So there's no one else who would say that about him. He is quite the gentleman. I assumed women would have been drawn to him. Gentleman? Have you met Mel already? This morning, briefly. That reminds me. Mel seemed to know about her too. What do you think about Mel? As I said, he is a gentleman. That is not what I meant. Don't think I'll let you get anywhere without putting any funny ideas in his head. What? Mel is too trusting. He's pure of heart, so we won't stand for you trying to take advantage of him. I would never. So you say, but you actually want to get close to him. Nelly, calm down. He's your brother. I wouldn't dream of it, Lady Nelly. He is a man far beyond my reach. You aren't planning on doing anything, are you? No, not at all. And you don't have any romantic feelings for him, do you? What? Well, do you? I have no romantic feelings for him, Lady Nelly. And you won't develop any? I will not. And with... And with that, Nelly gave a wide, satisfied grin. Even though one has no way of knowing how another truly feels, or how they might feel in the future. You wouldn't, would you? Now that I think about it, there are plenty of other boys. You getting together with Mel is downright absurd. Indeed. But anyway, back to what we were talking about earlier. Your family, I almost forgot. You haven't told me exactly where you came from or anything about your... Lady Nelly, I've brought a new carpet. Just look at the embroidery. It's a work of true artisan. I'm simply in love with it. Surely you will find it to your liking as well? Wow, you're right. It's such a Florentine stitch. Florentine. That's a Florentine stitch, isn't it? I wonder whether someone mimicked that style, or if it was imported. Either way, great find. Let's hurry up and get it laid out. Oh, and we'll have to see how the colors go with everything else. We have to finish redecorating quickly so I can show Mel. He'll be so surprised. What wonderful taste you have, Nelly. When the other Abigails returned, so too did the bustle within Nelly's room. As a white-haired girl watched, a faint smile crossed her lips. Perhaps it was from relief of having escaped Nelly's inquisition. Or perhaps... Another stream... Yes. Another stream fiber. It's cozy visual novel time. I don't know how cozy this game is. I just said cozy because I'm all in my pajamas, all nice and cozy. But I have a feeling this game is going to take a dark twist soon. There's just a feeling about it. and some foreshadowing hints kind of dropped. Ah, Nelly, I'm back. Did you eat something like you're not supposed to, dearest Mel? You're unusually cheerful. I'm the same as always. Anyway, never mind that, dearest Mel. You take a look at my room. I redecorated today. So that's what you've been doing, hiding away in the house all day, Nelly. How is that any different than what you were doing? You were in the church all day. I guess. I will look at your room, but I promise. But first, do you know where the new maid is? Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the lurk. It's always appreciated. Now, don't get any strange ideas. I just haven't had the chance to introduce myself, and I thought I should as a member of the family. Except you have, and I know it. Being the eldest son, it would be shameful if she were to pass me in the halls not knowing who I am, so... Don't ask me. What? But you were in the house all day. She attends to Mother, so why would I know where she is? Though she did help redecorate my room. You made her help? That's work for the men servants. There was no reason to make the maids do it. Oh, so you're saying I should invite a bunch of men into my room? No, that's... Bruh. I go into your room all the time, Nelly, and you were just in my bedchamber this morning. Only one man is allowed in my bedroom, dearest Mel, and that is you. So unless you become a servant, which I will not stand for, I will not ask any of them for help. Oh, Fiber, that she's a little weird for her brother. It's just a little weird, but also, she's 14, so I don't know how common that is. I don't have a sister, so I don't know how common it is for a sister to be so attached to her brother. But even so, it's actually weird. Like, no, she's just actually weird about it. Yeah, it does. It does feel like that. Oh, Nelly, you ought to be a little more... A little more what? If you're gonna lecture me, I won't hear it. What am I gonna do with you, my little lady? What? Why are you looking at me like that? We talked about you, dearest Mel, and I'm not going to tell you what she said. About me? What did she say? Please, Nelly. She said she has no romantic interest in you. Why did that even come up? Because we're both girls, and we talk about things like that and we talk about things like what kind of boys we like and who's the most handsome. Why do you look so downtrodden, dearest Mel? You look like a little sad boy who can't get his crush to notice him. That face is unbecoming of a prince, Mel. Are you interested in her? That's strange. You haven't even met. I am not. It's just depressing to find out that someone you've never met doesn't like you. That's all. Oh. I think I've already lost the ability to do the voice that I was originally doing for her.
If I'm going to make my move, I must do it soon. I don't have much time.
Oh, actually, not Mel. It was just the fact that it was the white-haired girl and Nelly talking to each other that destroyed my voice for a second.
The master of the house isn't around. So next in line would be him. That painting.
I keep my I keep the bottom of my mouth so strained, even when she isn't talking. I can't, I have to relax when she's not talking. So I can keep doing the voice for longer. It's hurting. Alright. Despite his near devastation by Nellie's news, Mel's flaxen eyes continued to wander in hopes of catching sight of the girl. By now, it should be quite obvious to you what Mel was feeling. But the boy himself was having difficulty comprehending the things going through his heart. Emotionally, he was horribly unstable, like a ship without a sail. And still, every time he spotted the white-haired girl, his heart would leap, his whole body jitter with anxiety and excitement. He had never felt anything like this before, and as such, he struggled to keep these strange emotions in check. Whenever he saw an opportunity, Mel would speak to the white-haired girl. And days he was unable to, he either spent in secluded silence or a distracted daze. You say, oh no, puberty, but the brother, Mel, is 17. Which is still puberty, but at like the end. He's like at the end. Also, I'm going to say he could have been messed up. He could have trauma because there are tiny hints. There are just hints. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not really... Okay, I mean, I'm 19, so I'm still kind of at the end. But he could have trauma. He could have gone through something because there were tiny hints of the priest. Him and his sister brought up how she doesn't really like the priest that much, and he said he kind of felt the same way. And she said that surprised her, and she wondered why. And his response was, I have my reasons, and refused to elaborate. We've gotten like 2 scenes of him talking to the priest, and he doesn't act really distant, and he doesn't act like he's afraid, but he also talks about how he doesn't find himself able to, like, love is weird to him. He, like, a few times he's thought about, like, love was like a weird thing, like he doesn't believe he's capable of it, and that is a trauma response. I don't know how insane this game is with stuff like that, but I wouldn't put it past it, because this is apparently a really highly acclaimed visual novel. And just from the style and... I mean, okay, just from the style of the game and the fact that it's really popular, I can see them doing something like that. Anyway. Love is a curious thing. It has the power to change those who experience it. Just realized VN was visual novel. That's fine. Oh, wait, big stretch. Yeah, you're getting there, it's okay. Oh wait, this layout, with the fact that it's so easy to put a chat here. I need to put chat on the screen. I'll do that at some point, I don't know. When he did manage to approach her, he tripped over his tongue. Me on the screen? Don't worry about it. You can talk on stream, like you said earlier. When he did manage to approach her, oh, I said that. Again and again he talked to her. Again and again he stumbled. Unless you get auto banned. Okay, I turned off the auto mod. Okay? I don't know if it'll still get you for sending a long message. I imagine if you were if you were to take him to see a romance at the theater in his present state, he would cry just as much as little Nelly. We cry at tragedies because we draw parallels with our own lives. At least, that is what I think. Great tales of romance attain true gravity with the audience only when they are personally familiar with love. Can help with some settings on banned words and settings to make sure bots don't get through if you would like later. Yeah, we can do that. Perhaps. Like tomorrow or like the day after. It's 2:30 in the morning. In any event, the white-haired girl was, as a result of this, visibly perturbed. She was delighted that he was being so kind to her, but confusion overpowered every other emotion. She appeared to be at a loss for what to do as he clumsily catapulted words and stares at her. Yeah, that's another thing. My energy is so low sometimes. I work 4 days this week. Blech. But Mel did not back down, though he probably knew not what caused such fiery emotion to erupt from within his breast. One's first love, in particular, tends to burn like a wildfire. Okay, but I'm not used to working. I'm just saying it. I mean, I still work part-time. My energy is always low when I have to work so many days. I don't have that much energy in the first place. Are you familiar with the sensation, Master? Oh? You'll never get used to it? I didn't think I was gonna get used to it. I'll just have to learn to bear it. Ah. There she is. Is she cleaning? No, it looks like she's reading. It's now or never. Boo. Ah! Sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. You said boo. That's the word you use when you scare people.
Lord Mel. You clearly meant to scare me.
Because you just wouldn't notice me. What are you reading? You look pretty engrossed.
I am sorry. I should have asked for permission.
It's fine, no need to apologize. Feel free to read whatever you want, and you're welcome to bring books back to your room if you would like to spend more time with them.
But I was just amazed that the mansion had a library. It must have been a lot of work to collect all these books.
There are some pretty old books in here, too.
Your grandfather's?
Some that he collected, and some even older than that. Take a look at this. I think it's a diary, but it's not from this country. Or this century, for that matter. Maybe a feudal lord? Here, he's complaining about the quality of the harvest. Can this forsaken land only produce over-sour grapes? Yeah, all the songs were made for this game. All the sound effects were made for this game. Everything in the game was made for. Okay, there was a few sound effects that weren't. It to perfectly fit the vibe, and I am enjoying it. If only the largest of the Barney, or maybe Barnier. If only the largest of the Barnier estates were mine instead. The land there is much more suitable to cultivation. I'm assuming that's what this old guy sounded like. There you have it.
You can read this, Lord Mel?
More or less. I've looked over it several times already, so that wasn't too difficult.
Why would such an old book be here?
I'm not sure. It and all of this was already here when I moved into the mansion.
Have you not lived here your whole life?
Whoa, what did I do at the end there? Oh my god.
Have you not lived here your whole life?
I was born at our estate, but to me and Nellie, this is more like our home. We moved when I was still young, and we've lived here ever since. Nellie and Mother have both grown quite fond of it. Father, though, often goes back to the house, because he doesn't like all the roses.
By himself?
Yeah, well, sometimes Mother goes with him. But for the most part, he goes alone. But don't get me wrong, it's not because they don't get along. In fact, they act more like teenagers in love than grown adults. It almost makes me sick having to watch it. Yeah.
It is a wonderful thing to be so close, no matter how old they might be.
True, but still.
There are those in the world who cannot be with the ones they care for, so much as they may wish.
I have a feeling that she's saying that from experience. Oh right, yeah, I mean we already know that her dad died. Or maybe. It didn't say it explicitly yet. I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's right, the book. What were you reading?
I, wasn't exactly reading. I can't. I do not enjoy reading a lot of text, so I was looking at the pictures.
Is that so? You seem very cultured, so I thought you would be partial to reading. Perhaps you're actually more like Nellie. And eschew your studies?
Yes.
I wouldn't have guessed. But you like looking at pictures?
I do.
What else do you like?
What?
What do you enjoy doing? My guy's so awkward. Couldn't be me. I talk to women. Sometimes. It can be anything.
I enjoy being told stories.
Stories?
Yes. When I was young, my father would tell me tales.
As long as he doesn't ask the weather. As long as he doesn't mention the storm from the other night. What kind of stories did you like? There was one about
there was one about an imprisoned girl.
Tell it to me. Oh, here we go. I don't think oh. Okay. Let's get ready for this. Okay. This is gonna be long.
There was once a girl, and she was locked away in a inside.
Whoa.
She was locked away in a mansion deep in the forest. A mansion with only one window. But the window sat high up on the wall, far beyond her reach. So it sat always very dark inside, like this mansion. However, the girl did not like the outside world. There were lots of scary things out there, after all. Though she may have been alone in the mansion, she grew comfortable with the darkness in time, so she had nothing to be afraid of. And then, am I doing a good job?
You're doing fine. Keep going. What happens next?
Okay. And then, the girl grew up. By then, she had already forgotten why she was locked up. but she was content with the darkness. However, her eyes couldn't help but be drawn to the little bit of light that spilled through the one window. Though she was comfortable in the darkness, the sight of the light made her heart race. At first, the girl thought it was because she found it unpleasant, but she disliked the light and the outside. But slowly, she came to realize that she was curious about the outside world. What could be happening out there? For all she knew, the town, the forest, the people, all of it could have changed while she was imprisoned in the mansion. But she had no way of finding out. So the girl decided to write letters and throw them out the window.
1 second. Bodily functions. Oh.
What began as empty grasping became routine, continuing for several months until she was finally ready to give up. But then, a beautiful white dove flew in through the window. Tied to the dove's leg was a letter. Her heart racing, she read the words contained within. It seemed to have been written by a man. The letter contained numerous questions for the girl. It also said that if she attached her reply to the dove, it would bring the letter back to him. She was astonished, but she wrote him back anyway, taking care not to mention where she was. After having exchanged letters a number of times, the two felt very close to one another, as though they had known each other for many years, despite having never met. And eventually, the man said he wanted to meet...
Wrong voice.
Said he wanted to meet her? Indeed. The girl was unsure what to do. Should she tell him of how she lived? Should she reveal where she spent her days? She was afraid if she did, he would cease to send her letters. She was sure he believed her to be a young lady of noble blood, and not a girl locked away in a house deep in the forest. The girl could not bring herself to write a response. She released the dove through the window with nothing attached to its leg. And yet, it returned with another letter, written in a man's familiar hand.
You must surely have a grave reason for your silence,
It said.
I would like to know that reason, and I would like to help you, no matter what it may be. You have my word.
She deliberated. Though his letters were kind, she did not know this man. He was from the outside. Would he still treat her the same way when he met her? And did she even want to step out into the world beyond? What do you think she did?
Wrote a letter and agreed to meet him, right?
Yes, she did. The girl made up her mind. She would write a letter. As always, when she tied it to the dove's leg, it flew off out the window. And for some time after that, she received no response from the man. This saddened her, but she thought it was for the best. She belonged in her own confined world, her world of darkness. But then, one day, light shone into the mansion. The sealed door had been opened, and in the doorway stood a handsome young man.
I have come for you,
he said. The man was a prince from a neighboring kingdom. When the girl stepped outside, before her stood a magnificent carriage
the likes of which she had never seen before, accompanied by many servants. The prince, kind as in the letters, swore his love to her, and the two lived happily ever after. I expected some dark thing to happen. I did not expect it to actually end nicely. Ah, what a nice story. I'm glad it had a happy ending. A prince.
Was there something funny about the story?
No, no. That's not why I was laughing. Do you ever imagine what it would be like if a prince showed up for you? Huh? Wait. Another yawn. It doesn't have to be a real prince. Even just someone like one. Is that something you dream about?
Oh, no. I think I'm perhaps a little too old for that.
You think so? Nellie still fantasizes about her prince, and she's 14. I just assumed all girls were the same. Typical of this, what would it be? 1600s? No, 1700s. Yeah, typical of the 1700s. The 16th century. No, the 1600s, 17th century. That's what it is.
Lady Nellie's prince. That's you, Lord Mel, no?
What?
Is it not?
I mean, we used to play make-believe a lot when we were kids, but I very much doubt she still thinks of me that way in earnest. When she calls me her prince now, it's mostly in jest. If it weren't, that would be concerning. Exactly.
Oh?
That story. Do you know if it's a regional tale? One that's been passed down through the ages?
I am not sure. It could very well be one of my father's own creation. If you might think me conceited, but I think the story might be about me.
I was also thinking that. The girl trapped in the mansion is you? You haven't been locked up anywhere before, have you?
No, thankfully. I have never been locked up before.
Thank goodness.
But with an appearance like mine, I can sympathize with her being afraid of the outside world. I have, at times, imagined how wonderful life would be if it were only me and my father.
But the girl left the house in the end. If your father really wrote that story, then I believe it contains his hope for you to end up the same way.
Oh?
I don't have what it takes to be a real prince and whisk you away, but I can at least pretend. Smooth. So if it was your father's wish for you to see the outside world, then surely there's nothing wrong with you getting out and experiencing all the scenery the world has to offer. I want to see the outside too. Or, to be more specific, other countries. So, if you'd like, Nellie? If that's Nellie, could maybe go see distant lands together. Oh my god, Nellie.
Ah, dearest Mel, I've been looking all over for you.
Nellie.
Look at this, dearest Mel.
Mother bought me these wonderful gloves to wear on walks. The rose embroidered on the wrists are just precious.
Oh my, you're right. They are beautiful. They are beautiful.
The envious footsteps. She sensed it. She sensed what he was talking about.
You appear to be dizzy, Lord Mel. Are you feeling unwell?
No, I'm fine. The awkward laugh. Yeah, like, Nelly, learn to read the room. Wait, okay. Mel is feeling frustrated at his inability to convey his feelings to her. And as his frustrations built up over time, he developed, I suppose you could call it, a severe case of lovesickness. For several consecutive nights, he had been afflicted with a peculiar sensation, a presence in his bedchamber. Death. Oh, I didn't like that sound. That actually almost sent a shiver down my spine. I like felt the shiver in my right shoulder, but it didn't go further than that. Like my right shoulder blade. Death to the unholy one. Death to the heretic. Death to the witch. That's not ominous at all. Kill XXX. She's... Why? I never wanted her to die. Was she not eating? Steal off the tower. Understood? No one finds out about this. How can you be so calm? You understand what you've done? Ha! Pinning the blame on me? How nice it must be to be able to distort reality with panic. You're just guilty as any of us. I never wanted her to die. The witch killed her. The blood of the witch killed my blank. I'd like to know what happened. Let's No, we're not gonna know what happened. It's just more mysteries. Of course. Okay. Ah. A dream? What was that dream? It was horribly upsetting. I was holding someone, a girl I cared for dearly, in my arms, and she was limp. It was almost as if she were dead. It could have. What? Wait. Also, neither of those words that I just said were at the start of the sentence. I've been having a lot of really unpleasant dreams lately. I can't stop shaking. Why would I have such a dream? I feel sick. Back to sleep. But I wonder, who was that girl? Okay, actually, the tingles were a little bit more with that one. I can sense someone standing beyond my door. Is someone there? It's like they're watching me. Oh, I don't like this. My room is dark. Okay. Good of this game to make me feel creeped out. That doesn't happen very much. This sound design is doing it for me. I can't move. Okay, he's having... Okay. Sleep paralysis. What? What do you want? Go away. Ah. The sound is growing fainter. Oh?
Is that truly what your story meant, Father? But such a magnificent garden. Something we could never have had. Are my intentions guided? What a beautiful white rose.
Okay, yeah, this picture makes her look a little bit more creepy. You know, you could have sneaked into his room rather easily then. No one was watching.
How long have you?
Oh, you needn't pay me any mind. I shall not condemn you, no matter what you might do. Rather, I am on your side.
I'm not going to do anything.
Oh? Is that so? Then perhaps you are out for a late night stroll. I imagine you have less difficulties going outside at night.
I beg your pardon. I will return to the mansion immediately.
Oh yes, that reminds me. It was also the middle of the night when the grocer's servant broke into their safe. Grocer, I hardly even know her. News of that spread quite far. I'm sure you would have heard about it.
Oh?
Although, I'm gonna say Gimash imprisoned? Dear me, I'm having trouble remembering. But worry not. If you wish for it, the mansion shall provide. You are in no danger whatsoever of getting caught.
I... You said that a witch lives in the mansion, did you not?
I did. Does that sound perhaps a bit archaic to you?
No. I believe those rumors mockingly refer to me.
So I still believe that the maid, there's something weird with the maid. But I also, I'm recording this. I'm putting this up as a VOD. I said earlier that I do believe that it could have possibly also been her that the witch rumors were referring to. I did say that. Oh my.
I've been accused of being a witch before, which is amusing. I don't have any magical powers. Simply have an unusual appearance.
That's the first time that the text has moved on without me hitting anything, and she moved with it. That gave me a little bit of a tingle. My, what a lovely shade of red. The rose. Is something the matter?
This rose. This rose was white until I took it in my hand.
Is that so?
I apologize. I must sound mad. I'm sure I was just mistaken. It couldn't have possibly changed.
I wonder.
Yes?
Did the girl locked in the mansion become a princess?
What?
We should lock up and head to bed. Make sure all of the shutters are closed nice and tight, and then draw the bar on the front door. That was very disturbing interaction. Nothing weird. Okay, no. Weird things absolutely happened, but this the sound design is making me creeped out. Slowly but surely, time trekked onward, everyone working toward their own individual goals. Each early summer breeze that blew through the garden was like God's hollowed breath carrying the flowers' fragrance through the Rose Manor's windows. If only time could be stopped, and this beautiful era made to live on through eternity. As usual, Mel's eyes chased after the white-haired girl, and Nellie pursued her lips in frustration, pursed her lips in frustration at him. But she was still rather docile, even taking into account how self-centered she behaved, how fickle her temper. Nellie's fits were still no worse than a playful kitten. See? At that very moment, our lovely little feline had her claws poised to swat at the flaxen-haired young man.
Mel, you promised me. Have you forgotten?
I haven't forgotten. I'm just asking if we can go another day.
Another day? This isn't something that happens every day. I've been looking forward to tonight's performance for so long.
There's nothing I can do about that. We're having a gathering at the priest's home tonight. Several high-ranked officials have come from the mainland just for this.
Who cares?
I care. You know, Nellie, it doesn't have to be me who goes with you.
No, I want to go with you, Mel. You've been so distant lately, dearest Mel. You refuse to do anything with me.
That's not true.
Tell me, if you can't go today, when can you go? Will you be willing to go out with me?
What do you mean when you pull it like that?
When will you be willing to play cards with me, to have tea together?
I can't make any promises. I have things to do, obligations. And Nellie, you're almost an adult yourself. Stop acting like such a child.
I'm not an adult yet. I'm still a kid. If it means I don't get to play with you anymore, dearest Mel, then I don't want to be an adult.
Nellie, you can't... Lady Nellie, the master wishes to speak with you.
Huh? Father does. What could he want?
Go on, Nellie. You can't make Father wait. He's very, very particular about keeping people keeping their appointments.
Yes, he is. Unlike you, dearest Mel.
What's gotten her in such a foul mood? Oh, thank goodness for small miracles. Nellie just won't seem to take me at my word lately. You mustn't be too harsh on her. She is your one and only darling little sister.
You're right, but still, she's taken it a bit too far of late.
Oh? I am not too sure. She does not seem to be behaving any differently to me. Am I the one acting differently then? Well, enough about that. Can I ask you a favor? Me? What can I do for you? I was thinking... Physically, Mel was undeniably a young man, but the smirk that crossed his lips as he schemed gave his face the sweet look of a little boy. Or perhaps that was simply part of his charm. And it was not the age disparity, but his character that made his smile so heartwarming. What did he ask of me? You shall find out soon enough.
It's cloudy. And goodness for that too. Though it would have been, though it would be even better if they were even darker out. I believe the textile shop was around here. Ah, hi there. Lord Mel. Fancy meeting you here?
Yeah, what a surprise. So, what do you say we take this chance and go for a little walk? Since you're sensitive to the sunlight, we can keep our eyes out for shadowy areas as we go. And if you feel unwell, just let me know.
Uh, I was sent out to run an errand.
Don't worry about that. Come on, follow me. I'm sorry. It actually wasn't an accident that we crossed paths. I planned this out ahead of time, asked to have you sent out on a fake errand. It feels like I'm always on alert back at the mansion. Can't relax in my own house. It's actually kind of funny. Sorry, that was inappropriate of me. I just thought, since the sun's mostly blocked out, it would be alright if...
I'm feeling just fine.
Awkward. Uh, of course. I get her out of the house and I can't even think of anything to say. Hey,
Yes?
have you settled into life at the mansion?
I have. Everyone has been such a big help.
That's good to hear.
Indeed.
It's a little awkward. So,
Yes?
Nelly told me that she had you help redecorate her room some time back.
Ah, yes. That was shortly after I arrived. What of it?
Yeah, that day Nelly told me that you don't,
I don't.
never mind, sorry, it's not important. Hmm? It is important. I just can't ask how she feels about me. That would make it sound like I forget. Sound like I do, don't I?
Lord Amel?
Oh, sorry. I had something on my mind. It looks like it might rain again today. The weather usually gets better as summer approaches, not worse like it has been.
It won't be a heavy storm, though.
No?
The wind is too gentle.
You can tell from that?
Vaguely, but yes.
One second. I was on a mission doing something. Wait, I'm getting there, I'm getting there. I'm almost back. 1 second. Okay, I'm here. And the weather. I mean, okay, this weather kind of makes a little bit of sense. Because, like, she's sensitive to the sun. So, talking about the fact that it's cloudy out makes sense. This isn't just weather for the sake of weather. At least. That's impressive. I often leave the house unprepared, only to find myself sloshing back in the rain. At least, I missed like the last, even though I was reading it, I missed the last bit. I was preoccupied doing something, even though I was reading. Can't be, wait, actually, what exactly were they saying? Oh. So it started. No. No, it was just actually the weather. Well. You laugh more. You laugh a lot more than you used to. Do I? Yeah, and I like that. You look better with a smile on your face.
The smile suits Lady Nelly much more than I.
What? Her smile and your smile are completely different.
Also, a smile suits you as well, Lord Mel.
Do you really think so? What am I supposed to do? In the face of a smile like that? So,
Yes?
knowing her, if I ask if I am imposing, she'll say no without hesitation. Trying to cover myself isn't going to get me anywhere. Hold on a second. I never did get you those flowers like I promised. There was a single white rose blooming in the garden. I was planning to give it to you, but it disappeared before I had the chance. So, I'd like you to have this. It's not a real rose, but it won't wilt either.
I...
Mel was holding an ornamental white rose. It was an impressively detailed replica of the real thing, crafted by an incredibly skilled artisan hand. It was, I imagined, made by the same craftsman from whom Mel had ordered Nellie's birthday necklace. The young man, who had handful of days earlier had said he had no sweetheart, had come in to commission a present for a girl. The master of the shop must have been quite surprised, or perhaps it had given him a good laugh instead. It was for this moment that he had so desperately sought for time together with the white-haired girl. I don't know what you like, so I had to base it on my sister's tastes.
My apologies. I cannot accept this.
Is the design not to your liking?
No, I just...
If you're concerned about how much I paid for it, don't be. I just want you to have it. That's all. Please.
Why are you so kind to me?
Why? I don't like how the music suddenly cut off. What's gonna happen?
I'm sorry. I can't accept it.
A clear glint of flustered panic was visible in her red eyes. There is not a girl in this world whose heart would not flutter at the sight of the sparkling rose accessory. I have a feeling that I was right earlier. She brings misfortune. And she is the rumors of the witch. So, there's two dark things about the manor we've heard about. The two dark things are about the witch that lives in the mansion, and Mel said that the people who there's rumors saying that people who live in the mansion meet unfortunate fate, like misfortune. And so the white-haired girl said she thinks that the rumors about the witch are about her. I'm just putting together all the evidence we have. There's the story about the girl stuck in the mansion. Which people have tied to her. She herself tied it to her. What other things were stated? Mel's dream. Mel's dream. A girl died. What? I have a feeling that dream was about the white-haired girl. And that she is the quote-unquote witch. Her unnatural appearance is also something that's been brought attention to a few times. So that also leads to the fact that she might be undead of some kind. Her sensitivity to light. There's quite a few things we can point to say like this. But her reaction was far from delight. As a matter of fact, there were traces of fear and apprehension in her countenance.
I beg your pardon.
Hold on. With a look of distress on her face, the white-haired girl made to run off. Flamel grabbed her by the arm in the nick of time. At least tell me why. Is it because you dislike me?
I never said.
Something's wrong with me. From the day you arrived at the mansion, it's like I haven't been myself. I've been strangely aflutter ever since then. Whether I try to study, or whether I try to read, none of it sticks. I'm just looking at pages of text, tracing rows of letters, only for them to disappear as soon as I look away. It's all because of you.
I truly am sorry. Please, don't be any more generous than you already have. When I'm with you, my willpower wavers.
What do you mean by that?
I'm so sorry.
New art?
Oh, wait.
Mel's grip loosens for a moment, allowing her to slip free and dart off like a gust of wind, not giving him a chance to stop for a second time. Willpower? Yeah, I don't know, like... there's a... I had two first thoughts. One of them was just what she talked to about... Like, one of them is a simple explanation. What she talked to with Nelly about, like the first day that she was working there, about how she will not gain feelings for him. But the second thing is it's about information we don't have about her. And we're still missing something to know what she means by that. And I have a feeling it's more so the second one. Because she's clearly really mysterious. And I don't think that they'd say something like that if it was only... Because that feels too obvious. It feels too obvious, but it also feels not satisfying if it was just her saying, like, the willpower to not like him. The dumbfounded flaxen-haired boy stood frozen in place, left all by himself. The breeze, which the white-haired girl had called gentle earlier, felt faintly chill, as if mocking him. It looks like she's even less fond of me than I thought. Mel, I know the feeling. God, I'm crying. I'm pathetic. I know that feeling. Man, do I know that feeling. Oh, the priest is here. What? I have a feeling we're gonna learn something. Well, if it isn't Mel, what might you be? Are you crying? I'm so pitiful. Sorry you had to see me like this. Think nothing of it. I passed by a girl a few moments ago. She appeared to be rather distressed as well. Did something happen between the two of you? wasn't good enough, it seems. Not good enough. That was the new maid I was telling you about before. I was, like you said, Father, I was keen on her. Quite. Enough to bring me to tears like a miserable child. But she rejected me. I don't even have what it takes to be a stand-in, Prince. Mel, I apologize for complaining to you about this. I'm completely hopeless. Mel, please, don't try to tear me up. I don't need any sympathy, I just... No, Mel, listen to me. What? I've seen that girl before. Ooh, we're gonna learn something. Not the kind of thing that I was... Not... We're learning lore. Not the kind of thing that I was thinking that we were gonna learn. But... What do you mean? But... You said she was a servant at your house, right? In which case... Yes, she is. Please tell me, Father, where did you see her? Why must you be so evasive? It was probably someone else. No, Father, why? Someone else? You're saying you mistook someone who stands out as much as her? Exactly. No words? Father. She... And a man whom I assumed is her father paid a visit to the church once. They came asking for food, their clothes in tatters. The two were emaciated. I don't think they were eating daily. What? Wait a minute, are you saying... She's a beggar. I hardly even know her. But Father said she came from an esteemed house. Which is why I think you might be mistaken, Mel. She has a singular aspect, but it is possible there is another girl who looked similar. They're definitely the same. Something happened to her dad too. We know that deep down, though the priest surely believed the opposite. And so he said sternly, like teacher to a pupil, "But you must be absolutely certain, Mel. Understood? You cannot proceed any further without knowing her ancestry." May I visit the church, Father? By all means. In the back of Mel's mind, the vision of the night of the storm, the night of the white-haired girl, arrived. The night the white-haired girl arrived at the mansion was surely replaying. She had been wearing little more than rags and covered in grime, hardly the appearance of a respectable young lady of class. Have I been putting her through unnecessary stress? If she actually turns out to be nameless, to be rankless, no matter where she comes from, my heart is decided. I will not fool myself about how I feel any longer. No, I cannot fool myself. But how does she feel? What will everyone else think? I have to find out why she was welcomed into our house. I'll ask mother or father. No. If for some reason they don't know she isn't aristocratic, I'm better off not saying anything. But if they don't, then does that mean she's lying to us and to them? I'll have to find out. This time, I must get answers. No, absolutely not. You come back and first thing you do is say that? I hate you, Father. I will not stand for this. Why? Why would you just suddenly throw that on me? You didn't even ask for my opinion. New art? No, I won't do it. I'm fine the way things are. I'm just fine. Dearest Mel, I need your help. I don't want to get married. I had a feeling that was what it was. And if this shows the title card, yeah, I think I'm ending it here, depending on where we come back to. Depending on if it looks like it's gonna be interesting. Okay, we're not ending it. This may seem sudden, but I must confess that I made a grave mistake. My transgression is that I was unable to completely predict where this path we were traveling led. My hands were full dealing with my immediate day-to-day tasks, so I could do naught but pray there was happiness waiting in the future. I mean, I said if it seemed like intriguing as to where the next thing was going, I'm gonna at least get past that part. Happiness for everyone who lived in the Rose Manor. But I am a mere maid. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh no. I mean, from where she is now in life, she like can't feel anything for anyone because she's so attached to her brother. There are limits to what I am allowed to do. And furthermore, it was not my place to offer her my hand. Roads, such as the one we were following, have a way of diverging with little warning. And if you do not turn the wheel exactly right at those sudden forks, you may end up somewhere horribly off course. Something that I feel like I would do writing the game, which I'm not that good of a writer. I'm not even a good, I don't know why I worded it like that. I am not a good writer, but there are two obvious characters that are a part of that story about the girl locked in the mansion. The two obvious characters were the two humans, the girl and the prince, but there could be a tie-in for the dove. And I can't get that out of my mind for some reason. But my brain's working at like 100 miles an hour, overthinking everything because there's so many mysteries and none of them have been solved. I am well aware of that fact, which is why I thought that what I did was for the best. It's happening again. I made sure the door was closed, but I can sense someone standing there. Someone watching me. Footsteps. They're looking down at me? I want to open my eyes, but I can't do it. Curses. You're just gonna leave without doing anything, aren't you? Then hurry up and get out of here. Free me from this torture. No. Tonight, they're on my bed now, looking down at me. My neck. What? I can't speak. I can't move. These cold fingers. That soft breath. Oh. Okay, I was joking earlier. It felt too obvious. Why? I can move my body, but that's not important right now. Okay, so it's not confirmed yet. It's not confirmed yet. You smell of roses. The scent of the world is far removed from ours. He made to gasp at the sight before him, only to realize he could not. The presence of her cold fingertips wrapped around his throat robbed him entirely of the ability to breathe. Why? He silently mouthed the word. For the moment, at least, her melancholic ruby eyes were focused wholly on the flaxen-haired young man. In them glowed a faint flicker of willpower and a continuously burning agitation that roused her to action.
I told you to stop being so kind to me.
Why?
It will all be over soon. Please don't make any noise.
Why?
To put an end to this family. You are my only.
Why? Why are you shaking?
What?
Upon hearing Mel's words, the strength drained from her slender fingertips. He had not been questioning why she would do such a thing. There was, of course, a trace of bewilderment visible in his eyes. But he did not shout, nor did he tremble in fear. He instead expressed concern for the young woman who looked like a cornered rabbit.
I am not shaking.
You are. I can see it. As he slowly regained his breath, Mel's voice, too, grew clearer. Conversely, the red-eyed girls grew progressively more faint and raspy. You are not doing this because you genuinely want to. There is some other reason.
This is what I desire.
Have you been to my room before? You have.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'll be damned. Tell me, why are you shaking? You're not putting any pressure on my neck.
Why haven't you run?
Because I cannot fathom why you would do this, though I am not afraid. Do you hate me so deeply you want me dead? Do you despise me to the point you would be willing to take my life with your own hands?
No. No, I don't.
See? Like I said, there's another reason. If it isn't because you detest me, then please, tell me, why is it?
I am sorry. I will leave your room now. I will do my best not to bother you any further, so please forget anything ever happened.
Do you think I'm just gonna say, oh, you think I'm just going to say okay unless you go? Why can't you tell me the reason?
I'm sorry.
Alright, then I'll try and guess.
What?
It has something to do with your lineage. You're troubled by it somehow. Am I right? I thought so.
How did you know about that?
The priest at the church told me he had seen you before. He also told me, a little about your origin. But that's all I know. The only difference between us is social rank. I don't know what would cause you to do this. Please, tell me who you really are. Tell me why you came to the mansion and why Father allowed you to be a maid. I haven't said anything to Mother or Father. If you're hiding the truth from them, they still don't know. But I want to. I won't get mad at you or have you punished. I'll even swear to God if you'd like. I want to be the prince who whisks you away. I want to be like the prince who rescued the girl from the dark mansion and showed her the world. I know I'm not that dependable, but I want to help you.
Why? Why do you show me such compassion? Why do you treat me like this? I have my hand around your neck.
Why? I thought it would be obvious. Or have I not expressed myself well enough? I love you. Every time you push away, it crushes me. I didn't even know my heart could feel such distress. If you dislike me and don't want to be with me, then, well, I'll just have to live with that. As much as it may hurt. But if you have some other reason, some weight on your shoulders that you can't share with anyone else, tell me. I want to help you. There are other options. Things we can do about your...
No, that's not it.
Huh?
I've tried to hate you so many times. So yes, there's more to it than just social status. But I can't do it. I couldn't make myself do it.
What do you mean?
I had so many chances, but I couldn't do anything.
She spoke in a stifled voice, as if every word had to fight to escape her lip. She appeared so fragile, so precarious looking down on him that it seemed as though if a gust of wind were to whisk through the room, it would blow her away completely. Her pale fingers were trembling, like she tried to squeeze them again, but failed. However, her hand did not pull away from his still slender neck. Her hand is so cold. He did not challenge her, but simply kept his eyes affixed on her, as if carefully watching to see what she would do next. I'll say it as many times as I must. I love you. And I wouldn't be able to accept losing you without knowing anything. So please, tell me the reason. I'll see to it that you're taken care of.
Those are the words of a man of means, Lord Mel. Of someone blessed enough to have pity for others. You are a foolish young man. You know nothing. But the greatest fool of all is myself. If you agree to punish me, I will talk.
Tell me. Her long white hair and his soft flaxen hair touched. For just the briefest moment, it appeared in the darkness as though they had fused together. The white-haired girl, having finally gathered the courage, began to slowly tell her tale. Okay, get my voice ready. I feel like over the course of this playthrough, over the course of this stream, my voice for her has gotten like, I don't know if it's gotten lower, but it's lost the power I started with because I just I'm losing my ability to do that.
On the night of the storm, I paid a visit to Rose Manor, this mansion. My father and I were always on the move, traveling across the land by foot. It was only recently that we heard rumors of Rose Manor. There are several reasons we couldn't stay in one place. First is my unusual appearance. People often find the color of my skin or eyes disconcerting. So after living in one place for long enough, unsettling rumors would begin to spread, forcing us to leave. Another reason was my father's line of work. He painted pictures for a living, but we had trouble finding a patron, so he had to work day to day. When he was no longer able to find work in a city, we would move. We were birds that migrated without a flock. When we arrived in this town, my father was exhausted and weak. That is when we learned of Rose Manor and the family who dwelled within it. Rhodes is a name my father could never forget.
As soon as she said he was a painter, it like, there's no way he wasn't the one who painted them as kids. That's like, as soon as she said painter. Yeah.
He was, long ago, a painter in service of the Rhodes family.
Hold on. Your father was an artist here?
Yeah. It was before I was born, so you probably don't remember, Lord Mel.
So, you knew about us before you came here?
For as long as I can remember, I've known the name Rhodes. My father was chased from your house just because they didn't like something he painted. Having failed the Rhodes family, no one else would become his patron. Just as a good reputation spread, so too does a bad one. Branded once as a failure, no one will take you in ever again. You nobles throw your parties and spread your gossip about this painter or that sculptor. The rose you tried to give me is an example of that. It was certainly crafted by skill, but the jeweler is only known because some aristocrat spoke highly of him. My father's paintings were no less skillful. He was a talent that could not be easily imitated. But no one was willing to separate the art from the artist. The Rhodes family stole everything from my father. But even thrown out into the streets, his only skill was painting. That was all he could do to earn a living. What little money we had for food gave to me. He did everything. He did anything he could to ensure my survival, even at the expense of his own well-being. My father passed away in this town. Up until his last breath, he was only ever concerned about me. He held me in his arms and ran his fingers through my hair, an apologetic look on his face. If I had a normal appearance, I'm sure life would have been much easier. He was always telling me how sorry he was for making life so hard, even though it's not his fault I look like this. I disdained the Rhodes family for putting my father through such hardship. I imagined you were still living in decadence, acting as though nothing had ever happened. No, you wouldn't even care about the fate of one simple painter. Our lives meant nothing to you, and so I sought to bring misfortune upon you. And that's why you tried to kill me. Truth, I wanted to take the master's life, but your father spends so much time outside the mansion. And so...
You're right. If they lost me, it would put my family in a very difficult position. That is the whole...
that is the whole of my tale. You now know about my father, and how I feel about you. Having told you the blackness in my heart. I cannot go living like nothing has changed. Please give me punishment.
Why? Why would you have me put the one I love through any more misery?
I am not fit for your affection. Not only because I am not aristocratic, but because every time I spoke with you, I did so holding this darkness in my heart. Does that not unnerve you?
In the end, it was my family's actions that caused you so much suffering. Would that your father would that your father were still alive. Perhaps I could have done something. I'm sorry. And besides, you hesitated. You didn't actually kill me. And what am I to punish you? What am I even to punish you for? As you said, you had countless opportunities, but you could not bring yourself to do it. So tell me, why couldn't you kill me?
Because
If it's because I've given you enough reason to have even the slightest bit of interest in me.
nothing was as I envisioned it.
What?
I assumed the residents of the Rose Manor would be cold, people who believed that wealth and rank mattered above all. But on the night of the storm, the mistress was the first one to extend her hand to me. I arrived the mansion disguised as a beggar. Actually, disguised is not the right word, as many nights I only survived on the generosity of others. The mistress did not send me on...
What? What's it?
The mistress did not send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite.
What?
Quite...
Uh, 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 uh,
Quite the opposite. She took me in as a servant.
and then
So that
was my mother's doing. Got it. We're back up.
I could scarcely believe she would invite a stranger into her home, and that she would treat a stranger with such compassion. I thought she perhaps knew who my father was, but I had never met any of you before, so she must simply be that kind-hearted a woman. And the mistress continued to treat me with kindness, despite my disquieting appearance and the darkness of my heart. In time, I began to grow less and less sure of myself. What was I meant to do truly right? Were the things I felt truly justified? But it was a certain fact that my father was here, and that he had been chased out. So I decided I should take your life, to put an end to everything before I wavered any further. And again, and again,
And then
you were too kind to me. It's all your fault. Because you laugh with such affection. Because you give me smiles like that. Because you say the things you say. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I'm so happy to hear that. Despite the unusual circumstances.
Please,
No, that's still Mel. Please,
don't say you want to leave. Don't ask me to punish you. I couldn't do anything for your father, but at least allow me to do something for the daughter he cared for so dearly. You are far too kind-hearted.
I'll be happier with you around. You can become a real aristocrat.
Huh?
There are families that would be willing to adopt you, especially knowing it would bring them ties to the Road family in the near future.
Are you saying,
As long as you're okay with that, of course.
I don't understand. How could you possibly say that? I have my hand around your neck even as we speak.
It seems reasonable enough to me. I'm desperately looking for some way to not have to lose you.
But I couldn't. I don't know any etiquette or social customs. How could I?
You can learn all of. You are pretty and naturally graceful. You'll do just fine.
Uh, um, you are such an aristocrat, Lord Mel.
What?
The way you can come up with compliments so easily.
Only for you. Melly says my poetry has as much charm as a dissertation. That's tough. That's tough. I don't understand theater. It puts me to sleep. You laugh. Thank goodness.
Ah,
Keep smiling. You don't have to stop. A smile on your face is a smile on mine. No matter how deep the darkness has taken root in your heart, it can always be removed. I believe people are capable of forging their own futures. What do you say we go to the theater sometime? I promise I won't sleep through it. At the private theater, we can get seats at the far end of the second floor so we don't have to stand. They would be pretty lavish seats, and it would give you a chance to experience the noble life.
but
Please, don't be shy. I can have clothes prepared for you. I'll ask one of the maids who can keep a secret. Say, the one with black hair. She kind of scares me though.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say. How could you show such compassion for me? I tried to inflict harm upon you. Am I allowed to feel such joy?
For every day you suffered, a day of happiness. That's how it has to be. So stand by my side. He softly whispered the girl's name. For several long moments, her lips trembled in trepidation, but in time, she squeezed them together and made a smile. We still don't know what her name is. He wrapped his arms around her unbelievably slender, frail frame, holding her tight in an affectionate embrace. Mel approached me the next day. He explained to me the course of events and then asked me to dress her up even more beautifully than any other noble girl had ever been. She was already a very pretty girl, so even without much effort on my part, simply putting her in a dress, she radiated beauty. I was quite partial to her smile, so I agreed to help, thinking that it would lead to their happiness. I could not ask for anything more. I never anticipated what would happen next, though. Perhaps my hopes were unreasonable after all. Why are you leaving it off by saying that? I mean, like, we know something happens because when we wake up in the mansion, it's disheveled. Okay. What's happening right now? Okay, so we're at the theater. Oh, she's with Arthur. Oh. We're saving here. Why is this called a slow killing poison? I'm assuming, just for the sake of my sanity, I'm going to assume that has something to do with the play. And I don't think that actually has anything to do with I don't think that's a spoiler. Anyway. How do we... How do I... How do I go back? How do I close? How do I... I see. Okay, yeah. I thought you did. Okay. Whew. So, that... Almost 4 hours. Did not expect to be streaming for that long. I don't think anyone is going to be streaming that I know that I can raid. Almost guaranteed. I mean, the other May is streaming. Oh, Live is streaming. I haven't tuned into one of her streams in a while. Okay. I'm going to click on her stream this time. I'm going to go see if she is going to still be streaming when I raid her. From the looks of it, it didn't look like she was ending. So, but also, what was she playing? She was playing the cat, playing Stray. That's what it's called. She was playing Stray. Yes. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go raid Lavender. So, data dashboard. I'm doing this. This, press that, then we go down here, then we press that. Start raid. Hello? Hello? Start raid. Thank you. Okay, now. Stick around if you would like to raid with me. Please? That would be awesome. I'm getting my raid message now. Thank you everyone who showed up today. I did not expect me to like have that many viewers for this stream, but apparently people like listening to me read. Apparently that's a thing. Apparently I have a good voice. I'm fine with that. Which, after I saw that I had consistent viewers for this stream, I've considered just visual novels being my thing. What do you mean apparently? So you stayed here. You've been here. You've been listening. Okay, anyway. Probably gonna end up streaming tomorrow. Probably gonna be more of this. But this might be a vibe sort of thing. So like maybe later at night I stream this. Might get another visual novel for earlier on. Don't know. But raid in like 5 seconds. So bye bye.